Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand final of the Playtonia Rigid Roulette Tournament. My name is TJ. Tonight is going to be a very, very cool one because we do have, I think it's safe to say, some teams in India, or at least the region, going head-to-head for 18,000 rupees. The winner will get 8,000. The loser will have to settle for much less. It's Rippers versus JMD Gaming. In this best of 3 grand final. We're going to be starting on Inferno tonight, moving on to Overpass and rounding things off, if needed, on Cobblestone. And we are live into the pistol round. The CT side going ahead and running mostly pistol armor. They will have a kit picked up over on Proud. Terror's side pistol armor likewise with a few nades. That will be a smoke. And a flashbang. Flashbang's just been spent to try and guarantee a little bit of space over towards the A area. Meister and DM Bunked and Proud all kind of stacked up here. There's a nice opening pick. Proud slides out and grabs a very, very nice headshot down mid. And that'll drop Rippers down a man. And they've got to be careful. They do know there's only one person over at B based on the players they store over at A. So they're going to pressure very, very fast. And Savage is round the corner, only 9 points of HP. He goes down and that'll be the B site taken and the player count evened up. It's going to be interesting, though, in this retake, though, because they don't have any smokes or anything to go ahead and buy time, and they've just lost their first player, Ducadian, going down, and here's Lucky peeking around the corner for a few taps away, and now Meister boosted up, very aggressive. The CTs are swarming the side. DM Bunk gets 1. Fantastic in response. Ooh, Nasty with 2! Very well played by him from the corner, and he gets the 3rd. And Rippers will be able to take the first round of this map 1. Man, I didn't think we were going to start that explosively, but we did. And it was all on Nasty's firm shoulders as he just sat inside that shadow area, and because of those 3 frags, he will be able to buy up this round, an AK in hand, and will open him up strong. Over on the CT side, they buy up 2. JMD Gaming across the board, forcing as best they can. They will have a UMP, a Deagle, and 3 5.7s. And a B stack. I'm not really sure what I think of that, and they aren't either, as they do go ahead and shift their 3rd player over back towards the A side. That's going to be Meister making the journey. Nasty and Co. are all leading Rippers into the apartments area, and they do have just a few tendrils out. Lucky gets aggressive inside Banana, and this is big because not only does he get the first pick, but he also specifies it's clear. So you can see the instant response. Proud's running round. We're going to have 4 players now on the CT side over for A, and Rippers, they're just taking too long, and it's beginning to cost them. Even though these are pistols, well, they're still dangerous, and especially with the amount of control and the number of players here, that could be worrying. And it is beginning to look it. However, Rippers make the smart play. They throw out a few shots. They draw all 4 players over there, and then they go B. Now as the smokes come in, you will see that call coming out. The players from JMD frantically trying to rotate over to B, but Lucky needs to hold on here with only a UMP to his name. He's already lost Savage. He peeks out on the side and gets shot down by Nasty. Ducadian will fall as well. So Meister gets one back to the good for JMD, but they need to do a 3-on-3 retake with far too few guns. And it will be Roses with that UMP to pick up one of the first kills defending against the retake. It will be actually Nasty, dropped down fairly low in response. Proud sliding out onto the side. DM Bunk, though, he gets a huge kill. Nasty will fire immediately back. He's playing the shadow position again. Last time I won them the round. This time it might not even be needed because you have 3 HP on DM Bunged, and I don't think that's winnable. I don't think he does either. He's going to be looking for a way to just kind of slide on out of here. I'm not sure that's possible, though, but he gets 1 kill nonetheless. That'll be good for him. A very good buy-up round for JMD. They didn't win, but they've completely destroyed the money over on Rippers, despite winning 2 rounds in a row by bomb explosion. They're not doing so hot. They're going to be completely dry if they lose this round. However, it's going to be quite smartly an eco round over on JMD. P250 bought up, and that's about it. So, we won't see anything crazy there. And we'll just kind of reset to what should be a clean anti-eco from all the UMPs and AKs bought up over on Rippers. Interesting B stack coming from JMD. They'll have 3 players just hanging out over there. We'll run the A site. They run 2 players, one in pit at the very back of the site and one in graveyard. But they're going to be interesting now because they're pushing down mid. JMD could very well catch off Rippers, but I think Rippers are catching off flag play as they go entirely through archers. It will be the flank getting 1 kill. Proud gets it 1 with the P250, but Roses and Nasty, they fire immediately back. Nasty with 2, Roses with 2. And round should be in favour of Rippers. Clean anti-eco for the most part. 1 kill went the way of JMD, but that will be all. However, they will still have a buy up, and they will be kind of forced for money over on Rippers, just even because that 1 kill came through. You can see Ducadian, he's very low on money, and I think he's going to have to get something. Either he goes for that UMP or he trades with Sick. And he went for the UMP, Sick opted to buy some nades instead. So, we'll be resetting again, and back into what should be a fairly even round. Full utility on both sides, and the nades are already flying both ways over on B. You can see chunks of HP peeling off of Roses. He's dropped down to 23 from the opening nade exchange. And a little bit of poke still on the banana, but I don't think they want to push that after they ate that much HP damage. And the guy I've been calling Sick is actually called Isaac, I believe. So, there you go. I apologise. And we will have Roses as well, with the bomb here, working his way up mid, and generally the way the bomb goes, of course, indicates the movement of the team, so Rippers just kind of eking their way down mid, looking for a way in, and they do have 1 player very aggressive in the apartments as well, so we should see a nice split take coming through, but there are 3 players of full defense over on JMD. And the A side, they will have the 4th rotating in now. Here's the mid take coming through. A little bit of pressure through the smoke. Very, very low HP on multiple players, but Real Maestro up on the boost. He gets 2 before he goes down. Roses does shut him down eventually, though. So Savage is dropped down to 20 HP as well, so it's not a terrible take, but it's definitely beginning to be a rough one. Nasty throws out the Molotov to try and clear out DM Bungs, but he's in a different position entirely, and he's got 1, 2, 3 kills for the round. JMD Gaming now on the board. And immediately after that, Rio Meister goes ahead and calls a pause. Which isn't terrible. I apparently have to reset Proud's internet or something. Ooh, 2 players. It might get bad. We'll have to substitute in. Anyone in Twitch chat want to come in? Can we get someone? Bring them in. Yep. They're coming back. It's alright. We don't need chat to substitute in. Thank God. And it's kind of interesting the monetary situation we're in now, as we're going to have fairly low money across the board over on Rippers. And they, instead of opting for a save, go for kind of a quasi-buy. They try and buy down to about 2,000 to 3,000 across the board, which will mean that no matter what happens this round, they'll have enough for a full buy next round. But it also gives them a little bit to work with on this round. And you can see that as they have Tech 9s, Mac 10s, just what you need to maybe make an opportunity or two, which is right cool. So, we have the unpause coming through, and we'll be right into it. 3 players from JMD predicting this pistol Mac 10 rush over towards B, And they might be completely right, as we do definitely have multiple players going this way. It will be a Molotov to go and clear out the car area. The nade in response will open things up. Lucky finds a frag off the back of it. However, they're under fire and they're trapped in by their Molotov, so that will be the first nade claiming a kill. And Savage is the only player to answer back. Proud sliding through, trying to find the covering fire from behind the car boxes. Will now be encountering issues because Isaac's very close. He's got the opening frag with the Tech 9, and there's just one down behind the sandbag. Savage falling. So, Rippers, they make it work. Despite their low weaponry, they do have a site take and a bomb plant. 2-on-2 now. We've got Rio Meister and DM Bonged to try and work their way through construction. And if they manage to do that, Ducadian's completely separated inside the banana area. Rio Meister's beginning to do that construction plan. Nobody's going to be there to catch him out. Instead, the fighting is centering around Kingtastic. He opens it up, wins his fight. DM Bonged will fall. Leaving it all on Rio Meister, and he's checking everything on the site, but neither of his opponents are on the site, so this may get rough. He's going to go ahead and stick the defuse, but Ducadian is quite smartly just waiting for that. He slides out, grabs the pick, and Rippers regain control. Now up 4-1, and that monetary reset will kill JMD Gaming. And they have to save here. If they bought up, I will be incredible. Oh, I'm incredibly disappointed in them. UMPs, 5.7s, Deagles, they're not going to have enough to buy next round either. And that's going to put them into the hole. So they basically need to win this, else they're going to be down another 2 rounds. Kingtastic. Oh, he's got one pick. Really proud, just sliding through the smoke, and Kingtastic read it perfectly and was waiting for him with open arms. It wasn't a very nice hug, though. JMD, after that pick, will send another player over as kind of a replacement towards B. That's Rio Meister. He's holding the angle to make sure nobody's getting too aggressive here. He has the smoke as well, but their smoke's an answer, and Rippers are looking to go ahead and make a full take effort towards the B site. Or at least they're threatening it, as they're not pushing following these smokes. And that's a fake, I think. Yep, no, flashbang comes out from Kingtastic. I think he's going to go ahead and peek around the corner, just kind of make a threat, while the rest of Rippers is drifting all the way over towards B. Ducadian and co. Joined up, pushing towards the A site. Kingtastic. And there is kind of a distraction. Oh, with Lucky with a little bit of friendly fire. DM Bonged has heard this push, and he gets one pick, but that'll be all going his way as Roses immediately answers back. Savage goes down. And DM Bonged, sliding around these corners, needs to find something quick. He's nasty. He's entrenched in pit with Ducadian. I don't see how on earth you would retake that. And neither do JMD Gaming. Actually, not a terrible eco round for them. I criticised them early on for a really rough buy, but the way that round played out, they've now consolidated. They have armor and guns on 3 players. They're going to be able to roll that into the next round and maybe have another chance at an eco and doing some damage next round. But still fairly low money across the board. 2,000 at the lowest marks. 2,250 at the highest for JMD, so I certainly won't be too pleased with that. And Rippers are in a quite possibly titanically unsinkable boat, as they have full money almost across the board. $100 representing low money over on Nasty, but everyone else is in clean sailing for a few rounds of losses. Savage, though, he's got 3 players coming his way through the smoke, and he dodges them all! He gets 1 through the smoke in response, make that 2, actually. Fully blind, just spraying away. I don't understand how that happened, but it did. And now, down 2 players, Rippers are circling in on DM Bonged. He's got a nice position inside the site, but Roses has the flank, so that'll be the first pick of the site take guaranteed, and now, Nasty needs to worry because Rio Meister's got an opener as well. Nice frag, a headshot, and that'll be all they need. Is Proud on the retake now, joined by Rio Meister. Do have an advantage going in. Roses around the corner. We'll see his foot first, but it doesn't matter. The UMP gets the frag, and So too is the kill cleaned up in pit. That'll be Rio Meister and co. All grabbing what they need, and JMD up to their second round.
Bomb has been defused.
2-5 though isn't a favourable scoreline because this is widely considered a counter-terrorist sided map, so over on the CT side you got to be a little bit worried, and I'm sure they are. However, they now have enough money to go and buy for several rounds. Their weird buy worked out, so now they're set, and Rippers, yes, they have one more buy in them, but they've spent that now, and as they lose this, I think they'll probably maybe have enough for a scrape buy or a save for the next. And they're already determined not to. Rushing up mid. Just tearing it through, and Proud will be flashing into Banana. Roses will melt. Just burning alive. That'll be the opening frag, which gives full control Banana. So now JMD, they're going to push down it and begin to threaten the players in mid. Isaac, though, he reads that like a book. And gets the opening frag. Lucky around the corner trying to get the trade. Will be able to land it. And two. Nice redirect, and that'll be nasty falling as well. And now the only two remaining players for Rippers are inside of the apartments and completely isolated from anything at any one. And quite interestingly, the bomb is inside terrorist spawn. And I don't think anyone on the CT side knows it. That's going to be kind of a rough mind game because the Rippers side don't know that JMD don't know where the bomb is. So they're going to be forced to kind of take this slowly. They do go ahead and collect it now, and given the time, their only option will be to go towards B, which would be their best. And now we'll be back to buy time. And I will be interested to see what we get over on Rippers, because we talked about this. They didn't have enough money for a full buy. They had enough that if they saved, they won, but they saved 2 AKs. So they go now Tech 9 on everyone who can't buy a full set, which is probably the right call. It gives them obviously the mobility and a little bit of damage without a full investment that will leave them bankrupt next round, as is everyone on their team. But Nasty will be able to buy up next round, so be able to keep kind of broken by forcing for a while now. But JMD is starting to inch their way back in the game with full control of mid, and that's definitely not ideal. You can see over on the minimap, Lucky and Rio Meister down there at the bottom. They do have a flank coming in through the underpass. That's going to be Roses sliding through there. Kingtastic finding a bit of damage on the Rio Meister. That'll force them to fall back, and Nasty does know there's a player here. He has at least an inkling of it. There's the Tech 9 flying through, but everyone gets away unscathed. I don't understand how that happened. The aggressive stances that were taken there are the type that normally leave you either victorious or dead, but somehow ended up with a happy medium everywhere. But now Nasty and Proud trade kill for kill. Nasty with the Tech 9 will shut down the AWPer at the top of mid, and the kill came through inside the apartments in favour of the CTs. So now we're traded even, but Nasty finds another one with his Tech 9 rigging out around mid. That'll be one more pick in their favour, and Progress carrying through towards the A site. The only player here entrenched is DM Bonged. He gets the first kill, but he falls immediately after. Rio Meister with the trade with 2. Will be able to even it up and give a 1v1 for the site take and control. Last remaining player is Lucky, and he's not far. Coming through the Archer's side now. He'll be within view of the whole thing in just a few moments as he slides out onto the side. Kingtastic is hiding around the corner, just entrenched in this tiny position. Now Lucky's inches away, but he has no way of knowing it. Now as he jumps, that should have produced a sound cue. Kingtastic should know he's there, and he does. Kill guaranteed. And Rippers guarantee themselves another round. 6-3 now, and well, twice the rounds of their opposition. That's starting to look great for Rippers on this first map versus JMD Gaming. JMD just qualified for the ESL India title, so they're considered a favourite, and Rippers, well, I don't know if upset's the right term, but they're certainly having a strong showing here, as their nades do an excellent job over on the banana area. They didn't get any damage really, but they did a great job of just defining that area within terrorist control. There will be no setups, they won't lose any players, they're just going to be able to take this area for free, and that's actually huge. JMD will still only have 2 players over towards B at this time, though they haven't seen any terrorists over at A, and they've seen nades at B, so they'll start to just drift people over. You can see that over on the minimap. Proud beginning to rotate over for a 3-man B stack. Savage sitting with the open hand, but he switches away. He pulls out the pistol at just the wrong moment, and the only hopeful response is Lucky with a boost. He's on top of this flower pot area. There are 2 players kissing in the smoke. Nasty gets one, Kigtastic gets another. And that'll be all the opening Rippers need, as they have an excellent smoke tank at the B side. Savage with the AWP at the back of the side gets one, but he'll be shut down as well. And Rio Meister has a 5-7. So he's just theoretically going to play this kind of ambush and hope to get an exit frag, while I think Bunged is just hanging out there to support that effort, and both of them will fall back at the end of the round and try and save what they have. Ooh. This is an opening, actually. It's very well played. However, Rio Meister, he gets impatient. He will slide through and get the kill, but he's got the full force of the opposing team theoretically coming in on him. He's safe, though, because of the bomb. That'll be actually 2 frags on the round for JMD. Not terrible. But in terms of their scoreline, it continues to spiral out of control. 7-3 isn't at all an acceptable CT side scoreline on Inferno, and they cannot be too happy about that. It will be a flower pot boost coming through at B, just to kind of peer over any smoke that came in. That's become a very, very standard play very quickly as the new map came through. Oh, Nasty leaning through these apartments, very close range with the Tech 9, does confirm the first kill, and that's a huge opening for Rippers as they managed to remove Proud from the map, and the UMPs are all that remains for JMD, bar Bunged and his M4 inside the pit area. But they've got 1 frag, and they know that will have forced a rotate from JMD, given how many players were spotted inside the apartments. So they have an inkling that there's likely a weak defense over here at B, and they're right. Savage is the only player here. There's the smoke take coming through, well executed. And it's all left on 1 man, and his UMP in the second Orange's position. He gets nothing. Obliterated by Nasty. The bomb plant will come through. Very aggressive here at the grill area. Lucky inside this construction area needs to find some frags quickly. He's already in contention for 2. Nasty leans out 1, 2 on the spray. No, he can't quite get it, but the burn damage does it in the end. Bunged will fall as well to a trade damage, or a trade kill, and it's 8-3 in favour of Rippers. We've seen a ton of Molotov kills. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. We need that stat. Fire damage. I'd love that. Well, we don't have those statistics, but we do have, well, plenty of them, and one of them I'd like to point out is how quickly these fire damage Molotovs are coming through. You don't need statistics to see that. Nasty with an excellent set play and a double spray down. Roses, over in the apartments gets 1 as well, and this eco round from JMD has just been obliterated. It was very well done. I kind of was talking about that. I said there's a ton of fire damage coming through, and that's why those Molotovs being used are just so powerful at clearing out positions. Bunged gets 1 on this lengthy Fatul Rio Meister. Oh, I wanted to see him go for the knife, but I saw the beginning of a turnaround from Kingtastic, got spooked and went for the execution. Now he's got 9k. That's not a terrible outcome for an eco round, and I do believe JMD will have a buy next round, yeah. Almost 2,000 across the board, so that will come out to about 5,000 after the round rewards, particularly with the loss bonus as is. So we should have a full buy for JMD, and if Rio Meister manages to keep armor and a rifle, then that full buy is going to be much, much less expensive. And he's just, you know, sitting inside of his kitchen. He's got a cooking show, starring Gordon Ramsay and a few different dishes he can be cooking. It's fairly early my time, so I'm kind of craving pancakes. Maybe you can do that for me. But his cooking show has been cut short. It got cancelled by the network. We're instead back into brutal warfare. There's the full buy coming through. Savage will be able to buy up an all, perhaps due to that saved rifle on the previous round. And mate, already posted up here and obliterated Nasty around the corner. What was that? I don't think I've ever seen somebody just vanish like that before. That was absolutely insane. There were nades that went through, and I do believe those nades dropped him down to about half HP, and then the Tech 9 pre-fire at the tight angle on the corner just removed any hope he had. That was insane. He had an AWP, and he didn't have a chance in that round. Nasty. His kills have looked nasty, particularly on the Tech 9 all game long. They're going to have a flash out over towards B, and that'll draw some focus there. 3 players from JMD were over there, but they're learning. They're wise to the ways of Rippers, and they will have a player drifting back over toward A pretty quickly. So it's a 2-2 setup and a push over at the B side. Rio Meister feeds through, gets the trade frag, but he's got 3 players there in contention. And Rippers, they didn't commit to A, they just waited for somebody to get nervous, and when they did, they punished. Now they have a free B site with 3 people there. Proud does find a cross frag inside the mid area. So this isn't an impossible retake, but it is certainly a difficult one, as we will be kind of waiting really for Rippers to make a mistake. If JMD want back in this site, they need Rippers to make a horrible mistake and give them a free kill. And DM Bunged might have found the isolated player he needed, but Isaac wins the fight. Now it's on Proud. He's got 1, but at half HP, he'll just run away, hide around the corner and survive. Now 50 HP, give or take, and he has an AK, but that's about all, and Rio Meister calls a pause. And I do not blame him at all. That's beginning to get rough for his side. They will have money, so they should be able to go for a force buy at the minimum, or a save and a full buy next round. I'd be interested to see kind of a half buy coming through from JMD. You go Tech 9s and stuff, you buy down to about $2,000 across the board. And then you will have a chance in this round and a full buy next. But it is getting dire. It's a 10-3 scoreline. Rippers are beginning to look terrifying. And if you look at their bank, they've got 10k over on Isaac, 8k over on Kingtastic. They have bank to lose a few rounds and be fine. And that's always the most terrifying point of any Counter-Strike match, when they have enough of a round lead and enough of a monetary bank that they can just lose things and still buy up fully. Of course, if you are enjoying this week's tournament, now is a great time to go ahead and mention that next week, and I believe sign-ups are open now, on May 28th, we will have the close of registration for the upcoming 10,000 rupee 1v1 tournament. All the details are available over at Playtonia.com. So, next time there's a pause, feel free to go ahead and head over there, sign up, give it a go, throw your hat in the ring. But we'll be back to it now. And well into it. as Rippers, once again, with that lead, there's the kind of pseudo-buy, force-buy situation I was talking about over on JMD. They opted to go all in. They have an AWP, a couple SMGs, some weird rifles. I don't agree with that. I do think that's a problem, but there's the opening pick. Savage trying to prove me wrong. He's got one. The trade will come through, though. Isaac around the corner with an AK, and you can't re-peek into that, so JMD now push into mid, trying to catch out the players over towards the apartments area, but Isaac is going insane! He gets 2 picks, proud. He'll be able to get a trade, but it may be too little too late, as you only have 1 player remaining on both polar sides of the defending side versus 3, all collapsing on A. Move the player in pit, that's DM Bongs with an AWP, but no longer. He gets deleted. There's the nice play by Kingtastic, hiding out inside the boiler, waiting for a player to run past. He gets the pick, and JMD continue to spiral out of control for this first run. That'll be a terrifying 3-11 scoreline for Rippers, and the first half isn't even over. This will be that final round of the first half, but it's looking ugly. Rippers with an 11-point first half on the terrorist side. That's the type of terrifying scoreline you rarely see on Inferno, and they're just punishing all these mistakes coming through. Savage slides through and gets deleted as well in mid. And the Unbunged will be coming through as well. He's got one though. It'll be Roses to pick it up. Lucky around the corner will try and get something from the library area. He gets one, but they've only got a 3-on-4 now, and they've lost control of the A site. So Nasty and Co are in full control. The Unbunged will be still here, and maybe he can get something going. Oh, he gets one. UMP rings out, and maybe that's an opportunity, but no. He falls as well, and it's all on Lucky to save his team's record in the half, win back a little bit of pride. That's basically all he's playing for at this point in the half, at least, as he's in a 1v3, and he's already, just look at that control from Kingtastic. I adore that when players do that. You do about half HP onto Lucky, and then you just run away. You don't need to take that fight, because he's on the defense, and now he's just lost any hope he had, really, with that low HP. Kingtastic playing smartly around the corner, 1 tap for the victory. And there's the first half. It'll be 3-12 in favour dominantly of Rippers. And I don't know how you turn this around, because if you look at the kills across the board, it's not going terribly for JMD. Even the rounds they lose, and you can see this just by hovering over the icons on the scoreboard, of course. Even the rounds they lose, they're not losing by 5-man wipes. They're always with a player alive, with a few kills, and that's one of the most difficult problems in Counter-Strike, when you're losing by a large scoreline, but you're not losing the rounds by much. Because it's very hard to isolate what you need to do to make an adjustment in that situation. I think if you're in this situation, which they are, I think really the only option would be to. I'd love to see focus and a shift towards just full-out site takes from JMD, because what Rippers were doing was very hesitant throughout the half, and I think you can punish that, because Rippers on the CT side now. They have a different mindset to JMD, obviously, but it will reflect the way they played offense. It always does. So there's that dominant focus side take I was asking for, going on towards A, and there's a ton of pressure, but do Katie and Isaac, they're already dominating on the defense. Proud gets one in response, looking for a second, but Isaac's got 2. Proud has 2, though, and he'll be able to control the side. 2 players there for JMD with the bomb plant. May be available, but they've lost control of the bomb, and that may begin to be an issue. Nasty and Kingtastic rotating through, and Rose is at close range. We'll be able to isolate one. Meanwhile, Nasty and Kingtastic on the rotate will begin to come through truck side. And Ria Meister hasn't even managed to get the plant as everyone just falls around him. And stuff like that is traumatic. He was forced to sit in a closet as Everyone he counted his friends was slaughtered around him, and now they don't have any money to buy up either as it nears match point for Rippers. They've got full Tech 9s and a Deagle, so don't count it out. We saw some pretty flashy Deagle plays over on Rippers, so that can be replicated on JMD. And actually, it's worth noting, almost full SMGs over on Rippers, which means that those weapons won't be entirely effective versus the armor-wearing players over on JMD. So, maybe there's something there. The UMP, though, is still a pretty lethal weapon, no matter who you're bringing it on. It's really come into popularity recently because of how powerful it is in almost all scenarios and how cheap it is. It's sort of like the Negev. That's cheap and very powerful. And that's a personal opinion, but I think the Negev is easily the best gun in the game, if only for the loud noise it creates. That'll be Tia Bonks beginning his opening push over towards A, and with that spotted, there'll be a temptation to stack towards A, which I think is the idea, because JMD have Rio Meister and one other beginning to push over towards B, but they haven't sold this. There is no rotate, and Rose is holding strong, and he's got Nasty boosted. Lucky gets one over towards A. There is the bomber still hanging out over on B, and the split's coming through. It's through the arches! And this is working out great now for JMD. They've isolated one lone player remaining. That'll be Roses over on the B side. Rio Meister is able to run right past him. Sorry, it's Nasty. And he's behind sandbags. That was very well played by him. He realised he was going to get completely flanked, so he just sat behind the sandbags, and now he can come back through with a vengeance. 2 kills already on the board, and he's just looking for one last. It'll be Nasty to get it with that flame Molotov. Yet again claiming a life as Rippers complete control and very, very thoughtful play as well. 13-3. Now, like that 14-3. You have to save if you're on JMD, but also, you're so close to match point you can't afford to. It's a very rough situation, and they go to force. P250 armor across the board. That leaves them with maybe a buy next round, depending on whether or not they get a few frags on people. It'll be a stretch buy, needless to say, unless it's a very good round for them, so I'll be curious to see how it works. CT stack at B, perhaps feeling that JMD will try a full rush there. But JMD aren't doing that. They're moving slowly and methodically through the A apartments. Isaac's hanging out right below them, though. Be careful, Lucky. He's got Rip Monitor in his name. That might be due to the frustration he's about to feel if his head just slides out into Isaac's point of view here, which is not impossible. DM Bunged will be going for a few tap shots, and that kind of alerts Isaac to the fact that there are players there. He'll throw out a flash, and DM Bunged actually gets burst down very, very low. But look at what Proud's managed. And I don't think Ducadian has any idea he's here. Oh, now he does! Huge damage comes through, 70 HP. JMD. However, it's a little bit worrying because despite the buy, they have very, very little that they can do on this one, as Lucky's the last alive. 24 HP, hiding in shadow, and you have more than enough time to defuse the bomb, and they know where he is. Oh, but he gets the first one. Nice piece of 50 frag to open it up, and he's just dancing around this pillar. He almost gets the frag. However, the defuse will come through with plenty of time, but a great round from JMD. And that great round from JMD now will give them a bye. So they have a chance, but it is a narrow one. Rippers of course, with their own buy. If they lose this, they're going to be stretched for money, but only for 1 round, as the loss bonus will kick up to 4 rounds immediately after that 1 round, and that'll be more than enough. So, JMD, they have a rough road ahead of them if they want to somehow pull this back to overtime, but that would be fantastic. Meister already, though, has taken huge damage. That nade finishes him off nasty with the bank shot. Somebody sign him up for a basketball team, because he's slamming some dunks, some 3-pointers. I don't play basketball, as you may be able to tell. And Isaac is just hanging out in the pit. Proud and going will be trying to challenge him over on A Rippers. They're the only hope in return, and they've got to do something great here over on JMD. They've got to win a 3-person site take, already down a member. And I would be very, very curious to see how it works. Lucky will be ready to go here. He's got some nades he'd like to throw out, but it doesn't matter. He's already lost a player. That'll be Kingtastic with 1, Isaac with another, with 2 from the pit. And it's all down to DM Bones. Map point on map 1 of this grand final. And he can't do it. So JMD go down 1-0. Of course, this is a best of 3. We're going to go to overpass in just a few moments. But that already gives Rippers, well, tournament point on this upcoming map. We're going to overpass. I do believe we're going to take a quick break first, so please don't go anywhere. We will return with the Playtonia rigid roulette in just a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Playtonia Rigid Roulette Tournament. My name is TJ. It's been a great match so far in these grand finals. We have 18,000 rupees on the line, and it's been incredible to watch so far between JMD Gaming and Team Rippers. To all those of you watching, either on facebook.com/Playtonia or in full HD on the YouTube channel Playtonia, shout out. It's been a real pleasure to cast this so far. If you weren't here during the first half, or during the first map of this best of 3 grand final, then you wouldn't have seen Rippers taking over JMD Gaming in a truly dominant scoreline. I believe 16-4 was the final scoreline. And now, of course, all they need to do is win one more game. They've got themselves the lion's share of the prize pool here on Overpass, our map 2. They're already on the defensive. And I've received some pressure. That'll be Ducati and drop down to 2 HP. Dinked on our screens as the A-takes coming through from JMD Gaming. And it's not finding any success so far. Real Meister will be able to answer back as well. So JMD Gaming will finally get a kill on the board. And don't forget Ducatian's on a grand total of 2 HP. So he does need to be extraordinarily careful here behind Optimus Prime. The truck over on the A side. Ooh, an X1. I like what he's doing here as he gets caught out. It was a nice idea. DM King will be able to get the frag though, and now that might create problems as Savage gets another one with the crisp headshot. 2 more to him, and he's looking for his third. That won't happen. However, Isaac's got a rough situation, and he knows it. He goes down. And JMD to get the first round in this second game of the best of 3 set. If JMD do win this, we go to Cobblestone immediately afterwards. Cobblestone, the third map if we need it. As I observed prior to the match, this is 3 of the newest maps in the game, which is really cool to see. I have a soft spot for each and every one of these. As we get into round 2, we're going to have a force buy on both sides. However, the Mac-10s are already opening up the action. Nice spray control by Savage for a long-range kill, and he's going ham. Isaac round this corner. Won't know what hit him. The freight train lands, and, well, that'll be 2 kills already for JMD, and they're not done yet. Proud, though, he'll be done. X1 gets the frag. The trade kill will come through. 2 of them, in fact, across the site. And that should be the bomb plant, and round secure for JMD. As they collect over on the A site, and Lucky gets the plant. There was a substitution. We do see X1 now in the game. After Rippers took a few moments outside of the match. I think they were just going ahead and sorting out a few things. Taking a quick break. Presumably somebody had to go. But X1 has shown up strong so far, despite his team being down 2-0. He's got the highest KD of the team, and he's tied his KD at 1-1 with a 2 kills and 2 death score line. So maybe the fresh blood was exactly what Rippers needed. As they're already getting very aggressive. Watch what Roses and Ducadian are doing. The B side's been taken, sure, but you don't expect this quick a flank. In fact, there's no way you can. Bomb goes down B. 5 players already on the B side, and that's a real shame because I think on any other round JMD play this slower, and what Rippers does works out so much better. But this round they decided to go so fast that Rippers didn't really have the opportunity to catch people off as they'd like. There's the first pick. Lucky looking for Ducadian as well, but Ducadian will be grabbed by Savage. There's the Mac-10 yet again, and the 3-player stack. I like this boost. Nothing inside of Connector won't be yielding any results just yet. They do have a flank coming through. Proud coming down, and he'll get the first one, and nothing else. And that's not terrible. You get an AK on the round, and they didn't really invest much, just a few pistols across the board, so Rippers will have a buy, and they have an AK, so they can afford to throw out some weaponry and generally share the wealth. There you go, seeing that. So we should be able to see a full buy this round from Rippers around early, which might throw JMD off. Nope, they went for the full AK buy, full utility as well. They're prepared for a fight, which is good, because they're going to get one. 2 more rounds is all they need to beat the scoreline they achieved on map 1, Inferno. So there's a fun fact, or not so fun if you're over on JMD. But they are off to a good start here on the terrorist side. When Overpass was really often played in the meta, around the time of its introduction, it was considered so CT-sided. Now we've had, well, a ton of changes, and I won't go out on a limb and project my own opinions on broadcast, but it's not terrible that JMD already have 3 rounds, and Realmeister, he's inches away from X1 over there. The main take appears to be over towards A, however X1 falls over aggressive. Well, that would be a tragic opening. However, it does appear that we're seeing a 3-man A site hold, and we're beginning to get aggressive towards long, actually. Lucky will get a gift-wrapped first frag, and he's looking for more with some nice tap shots at range. He will be traded, though. X1 grabs one over towards B2. Cadian on A gets the trade frag onto Lucky, and now they've got 3 people all quickly rotating over to the nexus of the action. Roses slides up by the dumpster, and he gets the first pick. The bomb will go down, however. Surely, in just a few moments, as they need to. Only 25 seconds remaining, but X1 on the flank, he gets the carrier. And this is now a heartbreaking disaster. Savage in a 1v3, and he doesn't dare plant. But if he survives this, it could be worse, because then he'd get no money. He gets the first frag, though, and he still has half his HP to work with, but he needs to either find the frags or plant in the next 6 seconds. He goes for it. He has the time for the plant, but Ducadian doesn't have time for him. He's got the first and final frag for him on the round. Ugly Rippers up. Now on the board, 1-3. And if you're a JMD gaming fan, hold on to your hats, because 3 rounds is a bit of a cursed number for JMD. They just spent the entirety of the last map on it. So let's hope we can see a closer match this time, as they're beginning to push out and apply pressure over at the B site. They do have a full buy, 1 more round of that, I believe, and then they'll be broke. So they do need to win this, else it's going to start to get difficult. Lucky will be hanging out down there as well, on the monster area with the bombs. That's a potential vulnerability because he's been so separated. But look at Rose's boost here. I really do like this. Realmeister, he won't know what's hit him, or rather he will as he survives and dodges back and does manage to get some trade damage, but you can see the effect it had. Very, very effective damage across the board. DM King down to 39 HP. Realmeister down to 21. Will be Roses and X1 playing very passive on the B side. The takes coming through. There are the smokes coming in. Oh, Realmeister playing well, watching the back as the majority of his team's pressuring forwards. This means the flank should be cut off. DM King, he's got the opening frag, and there's the response as well. Lucky grabbing a huge one as well, but they do have a problem. Savage solves it. He lands a nice alt frag, and well, there's the round cleaned up. JMD break past the cursed 3rd round. They're on the 4th now, and they're looking much better. JMD Gaming will, of course, off the back of that round, have another buy. They won't be able to afford another ult for Savage, but they will have enough that they can stay alive in terms of money and AKs. Rippers, that's another story. They've got no armor. Oh boy, Isaac. They've got no armor and kind of weak pistols across the board, but they've got a close range fight here, and they've got the pop flash, and they're going to try and collapse on 1 or 2 players, which is a cool idea, and it worked out for them as they did get 2 frag. Roses grabbing both of them, but I don't think they've expected Savage to be here, and he will be able to get a nice return. And now 3 players from the CT side all bottled up in this connector. They did get 2 frags, so that's not without note, and I don't agree with Savage getting aggressive here, because if he gets fragged, it's bad for his team, but he lands a nice double spray down. And it's all on King Tastic to try and answer it out. He does have an AK. I'd be quite proud of him just to hang on to this. He can see his team money. They probably will be able to eke out a buy this round, this upcoming round, given their money, and especially if he keeps that AK. But it will be a bit of a force. Looks like the save will come through. Well, that will be no. Rough buy if they go for it over on Rippers. Lots of UMPs, farmhouses. I think they should buy down to about 2,000 across the board, but not commit to this. And they disagree. There's the Mag 7 coming out. M4s. Well, limited utility. And a Mag 7 on X1. The way he plays over towards Monster, that won't be the worst thing in the world, but he's actually surrounded by teammates. 3 players over on the B side. 1 very aggressive player over at A. I'm interested to see how this works out. They do have the rifles to make this kind of aggressive boost play and stuff work for a bit of extra damage, free damage early in the round, but I just don't agree with the idea of going for a buy this round, because if they lose this Rippers, I think they're going to have to save another. Well, they might even have people walking into their trap. Nope, connector door won't be opened. Everyone going a little bit higher up. And, oh, Proud! What is that madness? A spray through the smoke and through the wall. He sees a bit of a suspicious smoke and decides, oh, I'll spray into it. It's the right call, but man, it looked awesome on the replay. Roses now trying to eke his way through this connector area. Will have his back to a player, so he should go down. Lucky will be sticking the plant in the meantime. Over on the A side, Matt Molotov to deny the plant, but missed. Isaac with his spray also went wide, and thus the plant will be guaranteed. Roses, he hasn't been caught out. I thought he would be. It took a while for Reomeister to confirm that kill, but they did. Savage with a nice double spray down will clear the site. Well, that'll be all now. 6-1, JMD Gaming looking much, much better. Map 1 was a complete blowout for Rippers. Map 2 for JMD is looking so much better. I cannot wait. This should be a great map 2. Pistols bought out across the board over on Rippers. P250, no armor, so they're going to probably try and just do a gimmick play. Maybe that connector play yet again, and I think Reomeister senses it coming as the B-Tech will be underway and confirmed by JMD Gaming. And the one player on connector, Reomeister, is playing so passive, but it won't matter. He still goes down. Ducadian grabs him. Roses grabs another, and he's got an AK to his name as well, so this very easy round for JMD is suddenly looking a little bit harder. And I even think Rose is considering pushing Savage here. This surely won't work for him. And indeed it doesn't. Savage gets the frag. Isaac and King-tastic will be making their way into the site now. Savage behind the wall. The pillar will be able to get 1. Make that 2. He's been dropped very low theoretically. But actually 66 HP isn't bad. So King-tastic should be wise and safe here, I think. And indeed he does. Waiting for an exit. Savage will run past him, but he still gets the frag. 12 HP, the man's a monster. He will be now sitting at hefty 18 frags. That's 18 frags on Savage. 8 rounds in. Absolutely insane. For context, the highest frag count over on Rippers is X1 sitting at 5 frags. That's less than a quarter. That's well, the game in a nutshell. If you let Savage do that to you, it's gonna be a savage result. King-tastic will be leaning out towards Monster for an early peek. Rose is checking connector as well, but we will have a full buy over on Rippers this round, so maybe they can make it a little bit better as they have 2 AWPs, actually. I think that's the right call. However, they're already going to lose 1. Savage, what is this? He just tap shoots at range, catches out your foot, and obliterates it. That was a great, intelligent check by him, and it resulted in a free kill on an AWP player. Roses did spot ahead, so he knows there's players over here, and several of them by those nades coming in. X1's playing very, very aggressive here around the corner. He's got an AWP. I don't agree with this play at all. Particularly as Proud now comes into the site. He will get the first spam through the smoke, and it should be the site basically confirmed. But Ducadian and Isaac, they both get frags in response. It will be the cleanup coming through from Proud on the side, but Reomeister's got another, so it's all on Ducadian now. And he's not too far, actually, just coming out of connector and now eking his way through construction. But it's got Reomeister right behind him. Rio Meister sees an elbow. 1 kill for Ducadian. Rio Meister, 1 kill for the knife. But he confirms the kill nonetheless. JMD Gaming, 8-1 now. And looking, well, I think it's safe to say much better than their previous map. And that'll be a pause coming through for Rippers. I don't blame them at all. I'm having trouble seeing what strategy you can do, though. Because they're just losing all. And perhaps still feeling confident off of last map, and I think you just need to take a moment, you tell your team we're going to reset and we're going to play this passively, carefully, and crucially as a team. And when somebody starts shooting at Kingtastic, X1 is there to support him. And just that extra level of team play will be a huge, huge boon for the team. Well, we will have the unpause coming through. JMD Gaming calling it. Rippers, I don't know if they agree yet. They're not ready for an unpause. It's the mind games, the high level of pause play. Because Rippers, he called a pause, right? And then JMD, they call the unpause. And that's a strategy because it makes Rippers upset. I'm sure of it. It's 4-dimensional chess, people. This is the kind of clever mind games that win you maps. For the record, it's not. It's just somebody being impatient. But who knows? Patience is a virtue, they say. So JMD will certainly spend some time developing it as they are just waiting for a while now. We do have a fair amount of money over on Rippers. If they'd like to go ahead and buy up UMPs and a couple of rifles across the board, they will be able to do it, but they'd have to sacrifice their nade count to do it. So I suspect they'll be able to just save this round by basically what they have now, maybe a few armors. And then from that, you'll have a clean buy the round after and a shot in this round. Ooh. Rio Meister, very impatient. Now is a good time, if you're just sitting here, either on Facebook or YouTube, to point out that we do have a 10,000 rupee tournament coming up on May 28th, or rather, that's when the registration closes. That'll be the 1v1 tournament. All the details from that are over at Playtonia.com, but if you do fancy yourself a great Counter-Strike player, you should head on over to Playtonia.com and sign up for the upcoming 10,000 rupee 1v1 tournament. It should be, I love 1v1 tournaments. It should be pretty fun. 1v1 tournaments are like, it's the most pure Counter-Strike available. Just raw aim and movement and a level I enjoy. But I also like Quake 1v1, so maybe that's where that comes from. And ooh, there is impatience now. Manifesting itself in the chat. You need to find that zen space inside of yourself and focus on your inner peace. JMD Gaming need to, set up some candles, focus on the flame, meditate for a while. But in the meantime, Rippers, what kind of discussion takes this long? What are the tactics going on there? I think they've stopped strategizing and they're actually just playing chess at this point. They've opened up the chess Facebook game on their phones and they're playing it with each other or something. Browsing their wall. Finding some cute dog photos. That's pretty important. Or cat photos. I don't judge. All fuzzy animals are valued. Yeah, it does sound like one of their players actually went AFK. Isaac stepped away from his computer for a moment. That makes much more sense. Although, they did take a 15-minute break prior, so... who knows? Not sure what's that pressing. And I'm not sure what possibly could require that much strategy either if you were spending this time on a tactical discussion. Maybe you start shopping for mice or something, you know? You know why we're losing? Because we don't have the latest mice or something. But it does sound like we have the unpause coming through in a moment, so we will be live and ready to go in just a few moments. I'm looking for a new gaming mouse now. Not like a furry mouse, but like a computer mouse. So maybe they have some tips after this long discussion. They've decided on Logitech or something. Actually, I probably shouldn't say that. This broadcast is not sponsored by Logitech or any other mouse manufacturer, to my knowledge. Don't get angry at me. I would like that though. You start doing broadcasts where they give you free gear. I'd be on board with that. Like I said, I need a new mouse. We do have the buys coming through, as I do believe we're moments away from the match being unpaused, and Ripper's buying up some smokes and some armors. This is kind of what I was calling for. You go out and you just get a few weapons and a little bit of utility, but you still have enough money that next round they should have a full buy. So yep, here's the unpause. X1 finally calls it. And we will be loading in 5 seconds away from game. And here we go. Savage, 20 kills already. Well, 19 to be precise. He wishes the other team to have fun in the chat. Like he's having all the fun. Rippers on this eco round will try and push very aggressive down into the connector area. Real Meister, though, he's read it like a book. He's already got Molotov out. He might still be able to get caught off guard, but nope, peeks it nicely. Savage grabs one in the meantime as well, as Real Meister grabs two in the connector. And JMD have already obliterated the A-site defense. And they are looking great to drift out on to the A-site with the bomb and take themselves their 9th round. Ducadian does have Real Meister, who's only on 6 HP, so that should be a trade frag, and it is. Now they have a rifle and armor, so they should be able to maybe get 1 or 2 more kills. There's a nice little jump peek and a nice drift. You go ahead and you jump peek, you figure out where they are, and then you slide around the corner and land a sweet kill. And he's been joined down by Isaac. Then they're going to begin working their way out onto the side. They've got limited time though, maybe 30 seconds left on the bomb, if that. And they've spotted one at dumpster. There's a nice frag. DM King now in the suddenly underdog position. And that will be the bomb stuck behind the smoke, but the spray through it is doubly good. DM King gets one, and he's got no HP remaining over on Ducadian, but he's just sticking it. Oh, he drifts away though for the frag. Excellently played, but I don't think he has time. This is going to be close. He doesn't think he's got it. So that's heartbreaking. 4 frags on the round for Ducadian. He played it excellently, but he still lost it all in the end, and the bomb will even kill him. However, that gives them plenty of money over on Rippers and begins to make a dent in JMD's own wallet. However, it's, beginning to make a dent. Doesn't mean you're anywhere close, as there's still easily 3 rounds of loss available for JMD Gaming. They had 16k over on Lucky at the beginning of the round. Double AWP setup comes through though for Rippers. Isaac rolling one over at the B site. Roses grabbing one over towards A. Savage will scare him off with a few tap shots at headshot level, and Real Meister will be running through the connector to just try and gain some map control. X1's around the corner. Roses grabs the first with a nice old pick. X1 grabs the second. 2 frags inside the connector, opening up for Rippers and JMD Gaming's A split has been shut down. They now need to, given how little map control they have over it, they now need to start making their way over to B, and they do have the tools for it, but they're going to need to be excellent, and they're not so far as Ducadian grabs the opener. Playtonia, Isaac are all here to win this. Isaac goes down through the smoke. Lucky grabs that first pick. Now the nade coming in actually could be dangerous in response, but X1 won't get it. And you have low enough HP on the site that actually this isn't impossible. Lucky's being tapped down now. And Ducadian's just waiting in the wings. This is very clever actually. If Kingtastic takes a fight, Ducadian can just slide on out and confirm it. First frag goes to Lucky on this. Kind of stalemate though. They still have 30 seconds to do it. Roses, though, from the heaven rings through. Ducadian grabs the second. And Rippers are once again on the board. 2-9, the current scoreline. I feel like it cannot be reiterated enough. Savage is currently at 20 kills, which is over double anyone else on his team. Savage being an absolute savage here. But he's not done yet, presumably, as his team tries to take a site. They won't be sending anyone connector just yet. Perhaps due to their bad experiences with it last round. Realmeister is considering it though. He's playing pretty passively, kind of at the back of the connector now. He'll begin to push up because his team controls the top of connector. So there's little chance that he'll be isolated and caught up in it. The A setup is much more passive from Rippers than it has been previous rounds, and this is kind of cool because their aggressive play in previous rounds forces JMD to burn so much time checking every corner, and you can see that on the clock. Only a minute remaining for JMD to take this site. A little bit of smoke out, but Roses, he's got the first pick. Lucky will fall. Nades coming through as well to try and just begin walling off the site, shutting down Roses' AWP. But he's still finding angles. That'll be the first frag coming through. Savage, though, onto the side. DM King through the connector. This is very good, actually, because DM King, he's managed to go ahead and grab the kill. That should stop any rotates defensively, but as the slaughter comes through, they're going to rotate to B. JMD take advantage of their connector control and switch over to B when the A take gets shut down. And sure enough, there's nobody here, but the rotate coming through puts DM King in a tough spot. Roses takes a shot, he misses, but the repeat from DM King, he forgot he hadn't planted the bomb. Well, he remembers now, he'll get the bomb plant, but he's got 2 players right next to him, both of them carefully watching him. He's got Ducadian fairly low. Nice peek around the corner, 1 headshot, 2! DM King with 4 frags on the round wins 1v3 to save his team. And now, JMD Gaming on 10 rounds to 2. This is looking like it's going to cobblestone if something doesn't turn around massively. I'm not really sure what could. JMD Gaming going for that A take yet again. The connector stack is coming through in response. Rippers will be able to get some damage through already on the defensive stack, and I don't think it's been sniffed out that they're inside this connector yet. Although they certainly will have an inkling that it's a possibility. 1 player is in the connector, that's Realmeister. He's gone here every round, and he's already taking a fight. The door will open, though. He's got 3 players facing him, and one of them gets the kill. The trade coming through. We'll begin to build an advantage for Rippers, but all 3 players currently for JMD Gaming over on the A side are pushing down the long. And Isaac going for the cheeky smoke plays, gets 1 free frag. He's looking for more, and it doesn't look like he'll get it, but still very well played on the defensive style. And Proud with 12 HP. Ooh, that was nice. 1 tap. Kingtastic needs to find a way to get that trade frag onto Proud before he's threatened from long, and he's taken too long, but he still gets the crouching sliding spray. And Ducadian on the side just needs to hold strong for a few more moments, but he thinks they're going B, or at least he's aware of it. He wants to move to a position where he can rotate quickly, given how much time has passed. DM King doesn't know he's here, though, thanks to that defensive position. Now, he spots him. Kingtastic, with that information, will begin to come in from long, and this is actually a very threatening position. If Ducadian can stay alive, Kingtastic will be in very, very good stead. Proud on 12 HP. Will be on the flank for Ducadian. DM King joining him. They're both actually... What's happened? They've swapped positions somehow. And there's the first frag available. Ducadian spots the rogue shot, knows exactly where DM King is, and now as Proud runs out onto the site, he's got no clue what to aim at. And with 12 HP, he'll fall shortly after. Rippers back on the board, 3 rounds to 10. If they get 5, I'd say it's doable. If they stay at 3, it's gonna be rough. I would be very impressed if they turned it around at this point. Having said that, though, they had a great T-side on Inferno, so it's entirely possible they're just a better T-side team. And you do get that, just teams that are better on the terrorist side. So it is not out of the realm of possibility. There's a B rush coming through. 5 AKs, all headed to B and all Molotov'd out. JMD need to make some choices quickly. They've got a trade frag coming through. Proud will open up onto X1. However, Kingtastic's can be there an immediate answer. Now the 4 remaining players are all caught inside this monster area. And the spam coming through could be a slaughter, but it's aimed a little bit too high. However, Roses on the flank will get one on the trade. Lucky shuts him down. 3 players here on the defense. Isaac gets melted instantly. Lucky finds 2 now on the site take, and it's going excellently for him as Realmeister grabs a 3rd. It looked great for Rippers, but they took so many 1v1 engagements, and they lost all of them. Kingtastic in the construction area will be spotted, shot at. Savage, nice tap. Should be able to confirm the kill, but Kingtastic will run with 14 HP. I'd love to see him just save. Just play smart. Save the AK for something, because they need this 4th round. They need every round they can get, and they're not going to get this one. Oh, but Savage, he's on the hunt. The most dangerous game, and I don't think Kingtastic will be able to survive, but... Oh no, he's been spotted. Oh no. We're gonna have the Jaws theme now. It would be appropriate as Savage flies around the corner and executes the low HP CT. 3 to 11, and it's getting worse because you don't have a buy over on Rippers. They need to somehow make a dent, and they have no money to do it with. FAMAS Deagle 5.7 P250. You do have armor across the board, but no utility as well, and it gets worse and worse. Roses chunked down to half HP. He was their best player in terms of weaponry, and he's already down at half HP. X1's gone. As the tap from Proud is there. Realmeister might be caught off guard as 3 people come in and focus through, so indeed that kill goes the way of Rippers. However, Isaac's alone on the site in a 1v4 if all of these players push simultaneously. As is, it's a 1v3 at minimum. And that's an ugly situation to be in with a 5-7. Proud gets dropped fairly low, but wins the fight versus Roses. Isaac's played this well. He'll get the bomb planter and one more. Isaac, how did he do that? Very well played by him, and he's just given Kingtastic a chance in the round now with an AK, armor, full HP, and 2 low HP opponents, and the bomb hasn't gone down. Isaac played that so well. Kingtastic, though, doesn't know where to go. He's got an inkling it's over towards B, but no scientific basis for this. If he sticks with it, he'll be right, but he's just not at all sure. Given how much time has passed, he has to stick to B at this point. Just enough time's passed that he should be aware it's likely B, and this flashbang will confirm it. Kingtastic around the corner. Here's the bomb plant coming through. But he's not doing anything just yet, and it's Proud. Watching up high as Kingtastic sneaks out onto the site. He will have Proud. There's 1 kill guaranteed. No HP on the last remaining player for JMD Gaming. Lucky. Kingtastic wins this. He has a chance in the game. Rippers won't get it though. Lucky slides out, confirms the kill, and it's 3 to 12 now. And a scary scoreline for JMD if they look to avenge their 16-4 loss on Inferno with an instant answer back in dominant fashion, only a few rounds away from taking Map 2 of this best-of-3 series. It's important, though, not to count Rippers out, because they did have a great terrorist side on the last map we watched. They're not out of it. It's just gonna be rough. And of course, if JMD Gaming take this map, then we go to Cobblestone. As our map 3, the decider in the grand final of the Playtonia Rigid Roulette tournament. And that would be one hell of a map 3. Cobblestone is quite likely one of my favourite maps in the game. It's just so fun to watch at a pro level. I love it. And I can't wait to see more. We do have a tank buy coming through on Rippers. Kingtastic getting given a Tech 9 while he buys armor, so he can now be an overpowered player in this round. Then you have a utility buy over on X1 and Ducadian sticking with a Glock and a smoke. Roses has already opened up nice tap play and more coming through. Roses with 2. Ducadian grabs another. Isaac leading the charge here will go down, but Ducadian gets the trade frag. And over in heaven, there's a frag for X1. What was that? Rippers, hello! Welcome back to the game. JMD came and get obliterated in the pistol round, and it's now 4-12 in favour of JMD still, yes.
Terrorists win.
Roses on 14 kills with a 75% headshot ratio in the second half. Wow. He's, well, quite proud of that. You can see the Molotovs already coming through to try and wall off the B site as we get into this take. It should be a fairly clean anti-eco from what we've seen so far. JMD Gaming are just hiding round corners, trying to make sure that they can get 1 or 2 exits, 1 or 2 people caught off guard, but Rippers are playing this so carefully so far, and I love this because you don't make the mistakes, you don't lose a few individual players, and your anti-ecos are always going to be clean. However, their site exit is going to be dangerous. X1, here he goes aggro. He doesn't check the back corner. He's in a 1v2 and he takes huge chunks of damage. The chase from Rio Meister won't be able to confirm it though. But X1, what are you doing? Why does he go back in? I suppose it's fair enough because he only has a Tech 9, but man, I didn't agree with that at all, because now you have 2 frags for JMD Gaming, and they will have more money as a result. So, now we should have it. Full buy coming through. JMD. Full M4s, rifles. Decent utility. And Rose is still running with an MP7. There you go. Just for fun, you know. Really keep that 75% headshot ratio up. Ducadian's going to be edging his way towards the long area, trying to find something if he can. But they can't find anything just yet. They're instead opting to hang around the birthday party area. The first contest they'll get over towards A will be inside the toilet area. That's going into action now. Savage exchanges a few shots and falls off. Now watch the players over on long if you can see them on the mini-map, because if those long players don't fall back to site, Right now, they're going to have to go flank. That's going to be their smartest choice. However, the fact there's no side pressure means that they're going to just sit tight for a moment, and that may be a problem moving on, because JMD Gaming have two players so far out of position that they can't possibly hope to rotate to B in time. Indeed, there are no defenders on B. Only DM King. He's going to be swamped in a moment. He gets one frag. He spots four players all coming his way. And he's going to be extremely upset about that, no doubt. Rose is on the side, gets the first kill. However, he bought enough time. Very well played by DM King. And so Proud will be able to get a trade frag. He's going to be traded down instantly, though, by Ducadian. And X1 grabs the advantage. So Rio Meister is the last alive now. On the flank, yes, but with 24 HP. And Rose is right around the corner. The free fire comes through. And the kill will be confirmed. Rippers on 7 rounds, approaching double digits now. How did that happen? I counted them completely out of this game. I thought, oh, JMD Gaming, we've got this. Had a huge terrorist side, and Rippers answered back now. It's starting to look like we have a game again. There's the aggression inside the connector. 3-4 players here on this anti-eco round. And Ducadian and Roses, they're tearing them apart. Roses goes aggro, 17 HP. This man does not care. He's landing headshot after headshot. And Isaac doesn't even clear the side. Realmeister's right here, but he won't be able to get anything. Actually, he does get something with a nice frag on the X1, but that'll be all. And Rippers guarantee now their 8th round. Eight to 12 is the score line. I thought JMD had dominated the first half, and they did, but Ripper's T-side now is looking so aggressive in a way that is truly hard to deal with. DM King and Proud need to find something over here on the defense. Just one frag to break up the tidal wave of terrorists coming their way in a moment. And they are holding sensible positions, and they do have Rio Meister in support now. They have an AWP as well over on DM King. He's playing inside the pit on site, which is a good call. Ooh, that aggression from Proud pays off in spades, and this is actually huge because now you throw out the nades, now you throw out the Molotovs, the smokes on the defense, and you just ensure that you can play off in this advantage. Proud, he goes aggressive, he gets one more, well played. Roses will get the trade, but it may be too little too late because you do have a man at disadvantage now on the side tank, and there are 3 players here for JMD just to hold. They should have something, and a good thing it is as well. Oh, DM King gets tagged down pretty low as he goes for an AWP shot though, and X1's going for the plant as well. You do have a flash, they're full blind. DM King so close! A point blank scoped in AWP shot, and it pays off. 1 kill in favour of DM King, and there's the aggression from Realmeister. He gets one, Lucky saves his back. And that'll be 12-13 rounds now for JMD. Rippers knocked him down, but not out, and they should have enough money for another good round of buy here. Rippers will have enough money for, I'd say, 2 more rounds of good buy here, even if they lose. JMD will be sticking with that double AWP setup. It's worked well for them so far. Ducadian setting up for a smoke takeover on B. Savage running this AWP inside the connector area is the right call, I think. I like how they do that, but he does have to be careful because as you lose control of this water area, he could get caught out. But he's actually watching water from connector as he smokes off connector, which is a really cool idea. Because now Proud can rotate in, and he has an opening, and he's got one, almost 2, X1 tagged in the head as well, 10 HP in total. And he's going to be kind of trapped now, X1, because while there isn't anyone there, and Isaac's just confirmed that, there's the possibility that somebody just leans out through Monster and snags him when he tries to run away. Next one's got a nade though for an opening. That'll scare off anyone tight on the corner, or at least that's the theory. And off the back of that, they can finally make their aggression go. I'm not sure that theory is going to pay out though, because they are down basically 2 players here. Proud is the trade frag, and he is on the B side with fairly low HP. There's the take coming in though. This nade could mean death for X1, and it does. 2 kills already guaranteed. DM King grabbing the other. Proud hopping up on top of the box. Will grab one more before the trade comes through. Isaac is the last alive. He's got 1, but that'll be all. And that shut down. And now 14 points for JMD Gaming. $14 points after they lost map 1, 16 to 4. They've got to be feeling vindicated after all that. Don't have any frags in this round yet. However, Savage changes that with a nice ult pick, and you can see the connector area held by Proud. He has to fall off of it, so there is a hope of an opening here, but the ult duel between X1 and Savage should really be what changes everything. As, oh, Savage, he's got a corner, and he will take it. Lucky. Drifts out as well for Isaac, and he will be able to win the fight. The trade from Ducadian can't come through, but it is inches away from happening. Proud's got his back, turns to Roses, sneaks up. That is a key trade, as Ducadian and Roses are still on full HP. This isn't impossible, given the low HP of Ron Lucky. If he messes up, then you can get something going. Or if you isolate a pick onto somebody like Savage, you can get something going. However, Savage lands a nice leg shot, and Rio Meister's got the flank onto Ducadian, biding his time so patiently. I love that. He knows where he is, he calls it out to his team, and he just plays it smart. That's what you need to do. You just play it smart. However, that will be 2 players over towards B now. We're going there for the terrorist side. Ducadian along with Roses. They know the bomb. Savage, though, and Rio Meister will be both in place to get 1 kill. Rio Meister gets his, and Savage will get his as well. Wallbang, ult kill on the low HP Roses. So now, 15 to 8. Map point in favour of JMD Gaming as they continue to strike back and failing something incredible, failing overtime. It looks like we're going to map 3 Cobblestone to decide who gets the vast majority of the 18,000 rupee prize pool. DM King is the proud owner of one of the 2 AWPs for JMD Gaming. They will be able to buy back into this round. And oh, already Isaac opens it up. I was about to say, by contrast, several players over on Rippers don't have anything, but Savage will shut down Isaac despite his gains, and close range. Savage gets another. He will be shut down in trade, but it won't be enough. Now, Kingtastic needs to do something with his AWP. They have managed to make a dent in the defense, and if they can just reset, play it passive for a moment, they'll have an opportunity, because that'll force these 3 players to spread out. But they have a secret weapon, and that's DM King working his way around. However, Kingtastic finds the opening, actually. That's huge. And that changes everything. Now DM King can't afford to do anything cheeky. He needs to play smart with his teammate. We will be resetting back into it. Kingtastic, long smoke after the reset. And the reason I call it a reset is because it resets the aggression. They're not sure what side to go to, so they need to play passive and be aware of both sides. And that splits it up into 2 1v1s. DM King wins his, though. And it's going to be rough for Kingtastic. He's nowhere near the bomb, and he's got 30 seconds to do something incredible. I don't think DM King knows he dropped bomb, but he will land the shot nonetheless, and that's all that's needed. Rippers do go down 16 to 8 in map 2. That ties up the series score at 1 to 1 in this grand final best of 3. The Playtonia Rigid Roulette is on map 3 of the grand final between Rippers and JMD Gaming. We're going to Cobblestone, and I cannot wait. Thank you guys so much for watching up to this point, either on YouTube or on facebook.com/Playtonia. It's been fantastic. And this map 3 should be one hell of a map 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after about a 10-minute break. My name is TJ. I've been quite happy to go ahead and broadcast this match so far. It's been a pleasure. I've just been here drinking tea and watching some great Counter-Strike. Rippers took map 1 on Inferno in great fashion. JMD responded map 2 with a slightly less dominant but still strong victory over Rippers on Overpass. That takes us to Cobble. The terrorist side will be Rippers. And we're already into a pause. But it is important that Rippers are on the terrorist side, because this is the team, remember, that was so good T-side on 2 maps. They put a fight up T-side at Overpass, and they dominated T-side Inferno. So now starting off T-side, Cobblestone, normally you'd say, it's a counter-terrorist sided map. I'm not so sure, because Rippers, it seems like they make anything T-sided. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to get into it as soon as this pause is over. Because that's kind of important. So hopefully, we'll be able to get into it in just a few moments, as we do appear to be having some technical issues with the broadcast camera, but hopefully those have been resolved now, so we can be fully ready to go, despite whatever crashes and bugs Counter-Strike throws at us. Here we go, live into map 3, and already Rippers are going lightning fast towards the B site. This is just exactly what they love to do, and they're making a bit of sound here. And then going passive for a moment. Here's the drop zone play. X1 leading the way. Couple players now poking their way into the drop zone, and now falling down, trying to split over towards the A site. Savage gets the first one. The trade comes through instantly, but Bomb will be joining them a little bit later. Roses, meanwhile, just left behind as kind of the drifter player, will be able to draw the attention of one, and as Kingtastic shuts down another one, it's looking great for Rippers in this round. This tactic was so clever, because they dropped out, they ran to the site, and then they left Roses to occupy all of the quick rotate players. That was so cool. And now, Rio Meister's been walled out in 1v2. DM King's the player who can change how this round goes, because nobody's instantly paying attention to him. Kingtastic will be able to get one frag. DM King will have the trade, though. And that means that King is the only one on the site, and Ducadian will go down. Kingtastic will return, and it's all on Proud. He can't do anything. 15 HP is not enough. The Rippers take round 1. That'll be a breath of fresh air after the last map, which was dominant for JMD. I think they'll be quite pleased to finally be back on the board. If you're just joining us, full bracket details and more are available over at Playtonia.com. You can watch this broadcast either on Facebook.com/Playtonia or on the YouTube channel Playtonia Shoutout, where you can watch it in full HD. We're going to be continuing, of course, with map 3 in this grand final, and already leaning towards B, Rippers are, but they're not sure of it, and they're leaving Roses yet again over on kind of a flank play, very, very far back, just to be aware of anything that can happen. DM King in the meantime will spot out one shoulder. Here's Roses. This will pay off now if Lucky comes around the corner, but Lucky knows better, and despite the call for it, he doesn't peek. And this is kind of cool because it looks like what they just tried to do was make a little bit of noise towards A, which they've done. X1 grabbing a kill, and then they all go towards A on the flank. There it is. A little bit of noise on B. Full play A. 4 players already there. The bomb goes down, and that is coordination from Rippers. They should have this round in the bag. Rio Meister going down. Ooh, nice return from DM King, but Isaac's there for the shutdown. And it's all on Proud in a 1v3. This eco didn't go their way. He's got a deagle. I believe in him. Isaac, right around the corner though, probably doesn't, as he's just gonna slowly peek, clearing his angles, and oh, he spotted the player, but he won't feel the need to chase him, so we're just gonna go ahead and reset for now into a kind of passive area, and indeed we do. That'll be all, I guess. Rippers 2-0 up, and looking at the money over on JMD Gaming, they're going to need to save one or force awkwardly. And they seem to be going for a pseudo buy, just getting a little bit of weaponry on everyone, but not committing to it. So they'll still have a buy next round, but maybe a little bit more firepower here. And you can see them consolidate weaponry onto Proud, so he now has an MP9 and armor, which is a nice idea. Actually, throwing it back to Savage. Never mind. Not really sure why they've done that then, because he doesn't have armor, so if he gets tagged, he's going to melt, and well, there's the tags coming through. Ducati and Co. blowing their way onto the A site. The stack at B means nothing. And that'll be Roses and Co. All together, planting the bomb, and Rippers. We're going to go 3-0. Will be DM King and Co. inside this connector, trying to find a way. Window, balcony, who knows? Just a way to get a pick, and they've got a flank on them. X1, not Roses this time, late on the flank. He gets shot down. Proud dominates him with a deagle. And maybe that's the opening, because now you're at a 4-4 even scoreline. The nade comes in, though, fixes that. Isaac grabs another quick headshot, and never mind. You're not at an even 4-4 player scoreline. You're behind 3 players, and JMD Gaming have got to be cognizant of that. Just playing a little bit more carefully. A little bit of a longer game, perhaps, as they're not going to win this round, and they're aware of it. The save comes through. They'll save some SMGs and other nades, maybe, and now onto this. They should be able to buy up. Throw those SMGs, shuffle them around onto the players that can't afford anything, and buy rifles on everyone else. Indeed, that's what they do. UMP comes out. It won't be picked up, though, so that's a bit of a miss-buy. So we're going to have full rifles, 1 MAC-10 over on JMD, 2 UMPs and 3 AKs over on Rippers. And they are feeling great, as they have this kind of weird buy. Rippers can afford full AK, but they're going with the SMG on the off chance that they have no armor opponents. Lucky calls a pause. That'll be for JMD Gaming. Hope nothing serious is going on, and take effect during the next pause time. Oh, look at where Lucky's standing. He's got no backup. Oh no, Savage is here. So Savage, playing at that APC, draws the attention, draws the fire, and that should allow Lucky to get a free frag. However, Savage has gone down. Rose with an excellent shot, and Ducadian now, free from worrying about Savage, shuts down Lucky as well. The Rippers are looking great on the T side yet again as they take the site. It'll be Isaac on the flank, grabbing 1 more, grabbing 2 more, with a headshot in the victory. And it's all down to DM King. In a 1v5, he should save. And he seems to agree with my assessment of the situation as he drops back over towards the B side. Well done, DM King. And now, JMD Gaming, you can look at their money if you'd like. They have absolutely nothing. Proud should be able to buy, I think. He'll be able to buy. Nobody else. DM King has a buy still. So you can have 2 rifles and I'd say armor SMG at most on everyone else. I would lean towards armor pistol, honestly, because I don't see how you get armor SMG out of some of those players, but yeah, they're going armor pistol. All right. I mean, I'm interested to see what they try and do here over on JMD Gaming. But there they go. One rifle kept over, pistols on the rest, and it's kind of a pseudo buy again. You have 2,000 plus on everyone's, and they will all be able to buy next round, and they get a shot in this round. So Deagles, P250s maybe can do something at the close range that the CT side can guarantee. So that's a good decision. Well played by JMD. And they even go for a bit of a gamble stack over towards A as well. It's a shame it doesn't appear to be working because Proud's the only player at B and he's going to be pressured. Nice! One dig! Proud opening it up with Rio. He'll be able to fall back now. And that's huge because this might actually bait Rippers into rotating back to A because they do this. They feel pressured, they feel like things aren't working, so they change it up. They play very slowly and very carefully. However, in this case, their care might lead them into harm because if they drift back, they're going to be drifting into a stack. However, they don't appear to be doing it, and JMD agree with me as they rotate one more player over back towards the A side. Or sorry, the B side from the A side, and there'll be 3 players there defending against the attacking 4 from Rippers. Roses, though, is still waiting for the flank play, so it really is a 3-on-3 on the side. There you go, there's the take coming in, and it will already be a player through drop room, sneaking on out, and PM King has spotted him. He'll be able to get the kill. Ducadian goes down. Lucky hanging out very, very carefully over on A. I'm not sure why he is still there, because they're not going upward. There are players lower, however, as he's just found out, and when he drops down, Isaac greets him with a shutdown spray. DM King playing kind of passively on the side despite their early player advantage. He now needs to go huge for his team to have a shot in the round, and he only gets half HP onto his first victim, and there's the trade frag theoretically coming through, but the spray goes wide. Finally, Isaac connects with only a few points of HP remaining. That could have been winnable for Proud, but he got peaked from an unexpected angle. Roses took him out, and now we're at 5 rounds to 0. However, we will have the full buy coming through from JMD, AWPs, rifles, you name it. With the amount of frags they got that round, they should be able to get everything they want. And there they go. 1 AWP, 4 rifles. Their counterpart, X1, he's got a shotgun. I'd like to see him run the sword off here. I think the idea is he's going to jump into drop with it and just shotgun somebody in the face and take their gun. I think that's his plan, and I love it. It will be very interesting to see in execution, though, because he's coming up against an M4 player. Here he goes, dropping in. Huge damage through, but he gets shut down. That's unfortunate. Rio Meister gets one with the Molotov as well. The trade on to Proud inside the drop room will come through, though. So, you do have an outnumber or player advantage, theoretically, for Rippers against the players over on the B side. However, they're sending their bomb in the form of Roses back towards A. And, crucially, JMD Gaming have not been baited. They still have 3 players actually drifting over towards A. And they might even spot it coming because Ducadian's just sneaking out of the drop room. He might get a flank kill then. That can undo everything. Despite this excellent play, Savage is at point blank range and Ducadian's just going to slide right past him. What's going on? Ducadian will get the first kill for free. Kingtastic saves the day and saves Ducadian. And so that'll be 2 kills coming through for free. I'm not sure how that happened because Rippers had the angle, but he didn't take the shot, or maybe didn't make the call out either. And I don't know. I have no clue how that happened, but however it worked out, JMD Gaming are now walled out of the site, and they have a rough situation for a retake. So they'll go ahead and they'll save, which is a good call because you look at their money. There isn't much of it. Triple digits across the board, which will be enough for maybe pistols, if that, and even if you do that, pistol buy across the board for JMD Gaming will leave them woefully under-equipped in future rounds. So basically they need to full save, apart from the 2 members that have rifles, of course. But it looks like they're going to go for a few pistols, try and even out the money. No, UMP coming through actually on Savage. Lucky and Proud still not pulled up, considering going for it. They go force buy on the rifle. So Lucky went ahead, he dropped his rifle to Rio Meister, and then bought another one. Well played. Could split up the money management for JMD, but it leaves them in a rough situation. If they lose this, they're done. They have almost no utility across the board. And I'm not sure how they manage this hold. They're playing quite aggressively, actually, over towards the upper B area. Roses and Kingtastic will be walled off by well-placed smoke, but as we mentioned, they're going to be short on utility. Only a few players had smokes. All those have been spent now. And that could be heartbreaking, especially on Cobble, where so much of the defense can be specifically set up towards smokes. We do have a call. Yep. So one player just got lagged out, crashed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and reload the previous round while they reconnect, because no kills had come through at that time. So just a little bit of fairness. One guy crashed out due to lag, so we're going to load back around 6-0 as the scoreline, and no buys through yet. We'll presumably see the same shuffle for JMD. Shame when interruptions like that happen, but it happens to the best of us. And it gives me another opportunity to take a sip of my tea. So there you go. It's a win for everyone. And really, what more can you ask for? We're still sitting in the pause for that one member over on the Ripper's side to reconnect. And hopefully they'll be able to do it in a moment. I hope they're all in the same location so they can go ahead and smack them. Oi, you! Reconnect. You've done that. Everyone's done that. You're sitting next to a friend and they're, you know, having some technical difficulties, and the problem maybe isn't on the computer. Get a little bit mad at them. Hopefully there isn't any such strife over on Rippers. Their team looking fantastic so far, as they did on map 1. But they looked really shaky on map 2, so it's a nice return to form for them. Looks all good as we get a little bit of money, over on JMD Gaming. As we saw previously, the way they split this up was very good. And they'll do it again. It's kind of interesting though. They've changed what utility they bought. Previously, they didn't buy nearly this much in the way of smokes. However, after that round, and after they ran out of smokes in the first few seconds, and it was really rough for them, they went, "Oh, we get to take 2, do we?" And they seem to have bought way more smokes, which is fine. It's just an interesting observation. There you go. Over on Rippers, they're still waiting for one player to reconnect, and hopefully we can get into that in a moment. It's a shame when technical difficulties do that, but of course we have no timeline for when they're going to reconnect, so tell you what, we'll go ahead and we'll throw it over to a quick break. We'll take a moment and hopefully be back as soon as this player can reconnect in just a few moments. So don't go anywhere, we'll throw over to a quick break and we'll be back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have gone ahead and gotten everything restored, and we will be right back into the round, and already, well, there's the aggression coming through. Rippers tearing through the B site, chucking out a few nades. And we talked about it the last time, but you do have an excellent split up of money happening over on JMD, and hopefully they'll be able to really put that to use, because if they lose this round, it's going to be rough. Rippers over on the offense, they've opted for a shotgun on X1 again. Keep an eye on this, because he's going to be trying to find that entry and drop. It didn't work for him last time. He's going for it again. There's the pressure. Prouder already on 50 HP. Could be vulnerable to something like that. It would only take maybe half the split at close range, and he's right around the corner. X1's got an aid with his name on it. 14 HP remaining on Proud. And there's the shotgun. It lands. Jumping headshot. I'm so proud of him, but Proud isn't, as he's gone. Savage will be able to find the trade frag, though. Somebody peeking through the smoke, and one kill will go his way. And we're going to be trying now to get the trade frag. There we go. One down. Savage gone. Sick. Kill from Isaac, and DM King falls. And there's the full side take over on the B side, and Lucky and Riomeister need to find a way to get back in from completely opposite sides of the map. I'm not sure they should go for this. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they shouldn't. But they agree. There you go. There's the pullback. Both players hanging out very far back, as they won't go to the porta potties. That kind of upsets me. I like the porta potties on this map. They're a great place to save, but people check them these days, so they're much less fun. That'll be the bomb going off, and a 7-round lead now, as Rippers are building that 7-0 line quite well, and nearing their capability to go all the way and claim that 18,000 rupee prize. Of course, it will be split up, but the winning team does get 8,000 rupee, which is hardly anything to turn your nose up at. So, there you go. We're getting into this round with a little bit of gun shuffling happening over on JMD. They have managed to put together another buy and actually an AWP to foot. Savage bearing that, and we'll be looking for a use for it. DM King with an early Molotov will be getting some early damage on people trying to get onto the site. There's throw smoke to break it, but that breaks up their attacks. And now the opening, the isolation alt place can come through, and one's already done so. Savage finding the opener. DM King with another one. Headshot ringing out over by the chicken coop. The bomb will go down. However, DM King's just waiting here as Proud flanks around the outside. This is a complete box in. Rippers can't get anything. One by one they fall. And well, there you go. 1 round on the board. The curse broken. And JMD Gaming will be finally there. And that really all came down to the one Molotov, in my opinion. You could see the Molotov thrown out very early on into that round. It went out. And sure, they smoked it. It didn't do too much damage, but it split up the team. They had to wait. They had to shift. And it really broke up the attack in a way that the AWP found a whole bunch of early damage. I'm getting a request now from Playtonia. They go ahead and ask if you are on the Facebook page, or if you're over on the YouTube, click on over to Playtonia on Facebook and send them a photo of you and your friends watching the game. We've already got a couple over there on the page, and it is a fun little thing. That is, of course, over at facebook.com/Playtonia. So don't be afraid to go ahead and do that. One frag already opening. X1 perhaps should have been a bit more afraid, as he ran all the way down and just got shut down by a swift peek from Savage. And JMD Gaming are looking very good on the round now, as they have a man advantage, and more to the point, they've maintained perfect utilities. They have smokes on every player except for Riomeister with a Molotov. There are so many ways they can make this work, just by buying time, grinding out that space. And you can see that as we near 50 seconds remaining in the round, and there's been no progress made by Rippers anywhere on the board. And they go for it. Drop room will be their target, and 2Kdian's already dropped in. Rose is going to be hesitant to do this because he has bomb, and the second he drops into drop room, they've really committed. Proud's watching this angle too. 2Kdian slides past the AWP. probably doesn't even know the threat's there, but Proud is there with an AWP watching the window of drop room. And the second somebody peeks, they're going to get slaughtered. Isaac will also be taking a fight and losing it to Lucky at the same time that Proud does get his. So now Kingtastic will be trying to answer back, and he will get it onto Proud. There's the trade, in fairness. It'll be a winnable round, but now impossible as Roses gets one in trade, but that'll be all as his teammate falls. 7 seconds remain on the clock. And he has nothing but a bomb and a dream, and he won't go for it on the B site, and he's just praying he doesn't get fragged after time. And it doesn't look like he will. So there you go. He'll live out the moment, but it will cost him. And now with no money being given to him for the round, he's beginning to feel that effect on his bank account as his team has lost several rounds in a row now, and they're beginning to, well, it's not good, let's say that. In a few more rounds, Rippers will finally be forced to consider saving, so JMD Gaming are getting there. Isaac will be considering going very aggressive with the rest of Rippers over towards the A site. I like the theory that they're going for here. You can have this split play, 1 into main, 2 into upper, now X1 joining the main push, and you could shut down this combined play they've been doing inside the connector for a while now. Roses is considering this, and he goes out. However, the shutdown from Rio Meister comes through. 2 frags for him before Kingtastic and Roses get the answer. And that's a decent defensive play. It's bought enough time that we do have the players now on the defense. It'll be Savage opening up with 1 onto Roses, Ducati, and throws out the Molotov and tries to answer back with a swift headshot. He does exactly that. Savage goes down before he can find anything with the AWP aside from the opener. And this 2-on-2 is going to be a slow one. If JMD want to get it, they just need to grind out a way to get this opening pick onto Ducati and maybe catch out Kingtastic alone. Just find a 1v2, find a 1v1 they can win. Because if they go for the team fight, the defensive position will favour Rippers. There it is. There's that 2v1 they were looking for. DM King slides out from an unexpected position, and they do not know where Ducadian is, but they have plenty of time to search for him, and they find him. It'll be Proud getting him. I hope he feels pride at that, as he guarantees. Now, the 3rd round on the board. JMD Gaming back in the game, and that's a great thing. The first 2 maps we saw were both blowouts in favour of the terrorist side. So it's very, very cool to now see us really getting into a back and forth. Once again, I suppose the terrorist side did go ahead and grab a whole bunch of early rounds, Rippers claiming that honour. But JMD Gaming on the CT side really do look in control here, and like I said, they're beginning to break Rippers' economy, as they should probably have 2 more rounds in the books for Rippers. If they lose both of those with no answering frags, they're going to start to hurt. Proud hanging out inside the drop room will be hearing all of that happening and presumably calling it out. You can see that as you have 3 players available instantly over on the B site and another one drifting over towards it from A. That's lucky. DM King's very aggressive at upper A, just to kind of try and head off any sort of aggression that happens with this AWP. However, all 4 players on Rippers are edging their way towards B. Rose is watching the flank as Isaac drifts out long. The remaining 3 are considering drop room, but they don't find anything. They're hesitant about it. Kingtastic shifts towards long. X1 already down into drop room, throwing out this smoke. It doesn't quite go where you want it to, but he found a lot of space from it, and now they can make a play from it, theoretically. Roses with the Molotov, that walls on chicken coop, and the site take is underway. Drifting out several players, all engaged in these gunfights now. Proud's walled out, he's Molotov, but he still lands the frag. Nice headshot coming through, and the long-range fight versus Isaac goes to him as well. He swings around for a 3rd. He won't get it. Ducadian grabs 2 in instant response, but his Molotov being out will doom him. And it's all down to Roses. He has got the bomb plant, and he's got 1 frag already, but DM King shuts him down with a nice old pickup. That'll be all that's needed. 2 people remain. 3-7. Now 4-7 for for JMD Gaming. And a pause coming through from Rio Meister as a player has left. That is also Rio Meister. I hope it's a quickly resolvable issue. Just one or two things going wrong, and you plug in your mouse, whatever's going on. Yep, he's right back. Savage coming in, and we should be ready to go again. As look at the money there. You can see Proud's pretty low, but everyone else on JMD has now built up a bank, and that's good because for the first time this game, they are rivaling Rippers in terms of rounds they can lose before they go broke, and that's a very, very good sign. Rippers still do have one or two of those rounds in the bank, especially with the number of francs they got last round. They could probably lose 2 more rounds after this, and it's still a money. And the loss bonus is built up at this point that they may very well just be able to buy for the rest of the game unless they really get shut out for several rounds in a row. And they're going towards the A site. This is the opening, and they have found some damage early onto Savage. Nice pick coming through from Ducadian at range. Proud goes down early. However, they will have 2 players still on the site set up to receive, and Savage with the AWP will be difficult to get out without the use of nades. They do have a couple of them, and they will be using those as quickly as they can. Rippers just flashbang after flashbang, but they don't quite feel confident enough to push out here. And after all those nades, they're going to fall back, and they're going to go back over towards back over towards B. But, oh, look at the aggressive play. You have a player waiting, and Rio Meister, he's letting them all go past. He's let 3 players go by. He's let 2 players go by. He'll grab the 3rd and drop the bomb. X1 does get the trade, but that buys enough time that Lucky should be able to rotate. Isaac, though, running ahead, will be able to get the first frag. It will be DM King on a 180 to shut him down, though. And look at the low HP on Ducadian. DM King could win this fight at range. Savage over on the A side to occupy 1. DM King lands a nice shot. Savage will fall over on A. But over on B, where the real action is still underway, DM King is somehow staying alive in a dire situation. But it's about to get worse because the flank's coming through. So DM King needs to move quickly. And he's got one close, but I don't think he knows it. Ducadian should land the headshot, and he does. 4-8, Rippers back on the scoreboard. And we will have a bye for JMD, but Rippers actually have put themselves in a bit of a dangerous position here where I was talking about their loss bonus, right? If you lose enough rounds in a row in Counter-Strike, you eventually get more money than the winning team is getting for winning them. However, now they've reset that by winning a round. If they lose immediately after, then it gets dangerous. If they lose 2-3 rounds decisively here, they could very well be broke over on Rippers. And that's a very, very key tipping point. However, it should be noted we're on round 13, so you lose 2-3 rounds decisively, and it's the end of the half. I take it all back. Rippers are looking great. I do think JMD Gaming at least need 1 more to really look in this game. 5-6 rounds at the half-time. That's possible. 4, it gets ugly. Well, they're going for it. Full buys on both sides. Farmas being picked up over by Proud, along with a double AWP. That's very interesting. JMD, they go for the double AWP on defense. Sure, that makes sense on Cobblestone. People do that. But I'm not sure it's the right call given how Rippers have been attacking the sites, right? If you've been watching, you've seen they throw out a wall of smokes and just blitz onto it. And I'm not really sure that the amount of kind of line of sight and individual aim tools JMD are getting will really sure what that pause was about, but we're through with the unpause and we will be back into it in a moment as we continue with map 3. We're almost done with the first half of this grand final, and I cannot wait. This game is still anyone's game. Obviously, Rippers have an advantage, but it's by no means decisive. Particularly given how effective JMD Gaming were over on the T side of Overpass. There's no reason to believe they can't do it here. And they will certainly be trying to. The aggression, though, a huge gamble stack from JMD Gaming. 4 players over at B. It's working out thus far as they have spotted X1 there. However, I do think Rippers have sniffed out the stack, and look at that. Only one player over at A, and they're all going that way. 4 players challenging 1. The rotates need to come through now. Lucky, thankfully, is luckily doing it, and he will be back over, and as he peeks around the corner, he will get caught out by a nice bit of damage, so that'll force him to call over his friends. Now several nades coming through indicate there are a whole lot of people over at the A site, and I do think they've spotted this. DM King will be able to get the first frag. The trade comes through, though. Savage falling. The site take will be held off yet again. DM King with 2 awesome alt frags. Lucky with another. And now it's looking great for JMD Gaming as they do pick up all the frags they need. It's all on Ducadian. And they have no clue where he is, so he has that in his advantage. He also has 2 low enough HP players. He could probably pick them up. But they're stacked on top of each other. And Lucky lands an excellent headshot. 5-8 now. This is anyone's game. And especially if the next round goes in favour of JMD Gaming, they absolutely can win this game, because then you have a 6-8 scoreline, which is just so close and so tight. I mean, we really do have a game on our hands. It's a grand final. It better be, but just seeing these two teams push each other to their limits is so fun. Rippers will be running over towards the upper A area. All 5 players there, actually. All 5 on AK. Now you see a bit of a split up, but still all A. Actually, 1 player leaning over towards B with bomb. What's this madness? I'm not really sure why they have 1 player headed off towards B with bomb, but they're doing it. And he will think better of the idea. That's Isaac. Oh, having a bit of trouble. There's the stairs. We need a wheelchair ramp. He's got it now in the end, and we'll be able to return with his team to this upper A take. Ducadian drifting down below. I like this jump peek from Lucky, because he'll be able to spot somebody and then fall back off the second that he sees that spot and call it. And you can actually see 3 players on the site, a 4th leaning towards it. JMD Gaming definitely suspect the A site, and well, there's the take underway. Huge damage already flying through as all 5 players push out on. The long spray from Lucky does collect the kill onto X1. Ducadian leading out will be inches away from the kill onto Lucky, and he's able to guarantee it as a trade. Proud and Savage are both fairly low, and Savage will go down. Rio Meister will be forced to hide in the corner. You can see him. Oh no, the plant comes out from Isaac around the corner. That leaves him vulnerable. Rio Meister falls. Yes, Roses with 2 frags answers back. The kill that Proud got. And it's all on to DM King in a 1v3. They should have won. Oh, yes, Roses goes down. I thought he missed, but he did, yes. And now, DM King in it. 1v2. Can win this, especially with an AWP, and given how the players are positioned, he can pretty much guarantee himself 2 isolated 1v1s. And if that happens, well, he has a decent shot in the round, particularly with this smoke, actually. And he throws out the smoke. Both players will challenge fast, spamming into the smoke, but they don't seem to know where it's planted. It takes them a moment. They still do get the kill. Oh, he's sketchy. We will have it secured, though, 9-5. And the final round of the first half. 9-6, an acceptable scoreline. 9-5, a questionable one. But here we go nonetheless. The 15th round, and Roses is looking for it. Already with bomb headed over towards B. It'll be the full focus from JMD Gaming over towards the A site, which may undo them because you can see, even though they're cheating 3 players over there, the take's happening on B. Proud's on the drop room and he's about to fall under focus as the nades come in. He knows there's pressure there and he'll think better of staying there any longer as he calls for a little bit of aid, and you can see the rotates coming through. Roses will finally get some action watching the flank as Savage leans out into his POV and trades a little bit of damage. That'll be Playtonia's, or sorry, X1 getting knocked down very, very, very low. The smoke coming through might be able to stop Proud, but Isaac won't throw it because he's scared of being peeked, so we still do have so many players caught out. That flashbang in is vulnerable though, and Just as X1 gets one, Ducadian gets another. Lucky will trade onto X1, but Isaac grabs DM King, and oh, that's a nice headshot from Roses. Savage, the last alive now, as his teammates vanish, and a 10-5 scoreline is what's threatened, and that will be what we're going in. First half is over of the grand final, map 3. Looking good for Rippers as they get 10-5 on the terrorist side. We should stress, though, by no means is this over. By no means is this over, because JMD did so well T-side overpass. And it looks shaky CT side overpass as well. So if they replicate that here, it's going to be terrifying. Rippers, remember, lost the last map probably by a similar CT side scoreline, right? They probably would have allowed about 5 CT rounds given their own terrifying offense, but JMD Gaming just obliterated them on their T side, so it'll be interesting to watch for sure. We'll get into it. The switch comes through. See if we get any pistol round shenanigans. We don't appear to be. Oh, never mind. I take it back. Decoys, my favourite. Several of them, in fact. Fake flash, sure. I've seen them used as fake flashes, effectively. We'll go ahead and say that's what's going on. We also get X1 picking up a kit and a smoke. The complete Sparkles toolkit for a Ninja Defuse if needed. The rest of the team gets armor over there on the CT side. JMD Gaming have called a pause, and I think they're still considering what weapons to buy. And there you go. Armor all around it looks. If you take a look at the scoreboard, it's worth noting we pretty much on both teams have 2 players that are above and beyond. DM King and Proud over on JMD, and Roses and Ducadian over on Rippers. Both of them just a few points ahead of their teammates in terms of kills and deaths. And, well, it's working for him. And Roses, actually, the way he's built his 13 kill scoreline has been really impressive to me. If you watch him, he's just been landing shots this game. It's been really fun to watch. Oh, the unpause comes through. 12 seconds before we get back into game, and we will have the full buys on both sides, it looks like. DM King, is he saving? I don't understand. Is he saving? No, thank God. He goes for the buy. Armor across the board. A couple nades picked up over on Rio Meister as the exception for JMD in there. Considering a weird split play right off the bat. Look at this. Savage and the bomb going over towards the A side, but it's been spotted as the aggression comes through. X1 tapped down to 12 HP right off the bat, but Roses has probably spotted the bomb, so that kind of ruins their strat. But the aggression towards B still could find an opening. All 3 players there. In a terrifying manner, potentially. Proud with the flashbang on in. They will be dropping down now. Isaac very close. Proud looks for the frag, but can't quite connect. Isaac should be able to get these. 1 to his name, but he has to reload. That's the single most awkward fight I've ever seen. So the camera cuts away. Ducadian will get 1 in return. Roses with 2, and there's a clean-up. And it's all down to Rio Meister. He can't get anything either. Ducadian shuts him down, and there is an 11-5 scoreline. Rippers looking good on the first CT side round. You should have a weird force buy available to JMD. I'll be curious to see if they go for it. Over on the CT side, we'll see a pretty decent buy coming out as of yet. And there's the force buy I talked about. Pistol armor across the board. Tech 9 armor across the board, actually. Smoke coming in as well instead of head armor for Lucky. UMPs are the secret to victory, according to Rippers, as they have 3 of them, an M4 and a FAMAS. Swarm of Tech 9s for the terrorist side. JMD is hovering over towards the A side. She's looking for an opening, circling like a pack of sharks, and they do have 1 potentially here, as Roses will be right around the corner, and actually Roses gets the opener. He gets 2! He gets 3! Just spraying down 3 people with that UMP. Sure, he falls afterwards, but that should be the opener for the team. It's going to be very difficult to inch back after that, as The three-man spray down coming through should give them a huge advantage, particularly as Lucky's dropped pretty low on HP as well, potentially. He will fall back from the corner that was so dangerous, and now it may very well be curtains for JMD in the round. Look at the weaponry they have left to make something happen. A UMP and a Tech 9, full HP sure, but double the players on the other side. That's just going to be rough. No matter where they go, it's going to be an even fight as the split 2-2 has come through. Now it's shifting over to 3-3 as they cheat towards the B side over on Rippers. Ducati and X1 both sitting near the drop room, expecting Lucky to come through. There's the smoke. That'll prove him right, as that will be the first kill. Guaranteed. Ducadian securing the strong kill. Kingtastic grabbing the other onto Rio Meister, and well, 12-5 now for Rippers, building a great dominant scoreline lead. This is for literally all of the marbles. Well, not all of them actually. There is a prize pool split. But 8,000 rupee goes to first place. The loser gets far less in second place. So JMD Gaming are surely feeling that pressure. We will have an unpause coming through as quick tactical discussion, I think, comes through. And we get into it. Pistols, sticking with pistols in an eco for JMD. That's probably the right call, but of course it inches them closer to defeat as Rippers are nearing tournament point at 12 rounds to 5. DM King and Co, they all group up, and it looks like we're going to go for a straight drop room dash, and that might be overwhelming for Isaac, but he plays around the corner, and actually his nade will go in, and there's the slaughter for Ducati, and huge damage on several players. Nothing really going the way. Actually, Rio Meister gets one. There you go. There's the one thing going the way of JMD, but that will be all. Ducadian falls on the site under a 5-man focus. Nobody else does, though, and JMD get almost nothing on that pistol rush round. Buys come through from Rippers. They are pretty confident sticking with those UMPs, and they do seem to be. That's kind of interesting. They're feeling like there might be another eco round over on JMD. JMD, of course, strongly disagree. Full AKs, full utility across the board. And I will be pressuring very early towards B. I'd be interested to see actually kind of another fast play. Just try and catch them off guard with the AKs now, which they probably won't expect. Won't be happening, though. Roses has the AWP, and Savage is drifting into his vision. If he challenges that, it'll surely be death, and it isn't. Roses misses the shot, and that actually might cause a crack in the 4-man stack over on the B side. Surely Rippers, after they're all up against threat, and they'll consider drifting a player back over towards A, but they don't. They hold strong indeed. It looks like they're going to stack further, as you can see, actually. A bit of a lean coming through from Roses. He's considering just cheating a bit more towards B. They're sure it's going to be there. Perhaps all the activity around drop room has convinced them of that, and well, they're not wrong. Proud are heading down drop room. The rest of their players over at long. And the 5-man take on B is still threatened. 40 seconds remaining. There is a player on drop. That'll be called out by Isaac. And actually, Proud still manages to kill. Lucky gets another. Ducadian answers back from the boost, but he'll go down as well to Proud, and there's 2 players instantly remaining now. A run. Rippers. There's one with a free frag. Isaac grabs it. Roses will be seemingly saving his AWP, leaving it all on Isaac's shoulders. He's not sure about it, but Isaac seems to have waved him off, and indeed he'll save as well. If only they knew that they had one player so low on the other side. But they don't, and so we'll settle back for a save. Rippers do give a round away, but they can afford to with the lead they built, so it does make sense for them just to play carefully, make sure not to give too much money over to JMD, make sure to hold on to their weaponry. That's what they'll end up doing. 13-5. Now, 13-6. And JMD Gaming eke out a terrorist round, their first, I believe, on this map. I did mention they look terrifying on overpasses T-side. That's got to be in the back of Ripper's mind. You be aware, if you let them get rolling, you may never be able to regain control. That's just the type of team they've demonstrated themselves to be, and now they've got full weaponry over on JMD. Full AKs across the board, full utility, Molotov smokes, you name it, they have it. And it starts to get worrying as the smoke takes they can provide can really isolate the players. It will be Savage with a long-range engagement versus X1. It will be shut down. Roses swings around, joined by X1 for a combined kill on Savage. The AWP shutting down any argument that could have been had, and that's the flank suddenly vulnerable now for JMD, and they've got to worry about being boxed in as they apparently are being. They aren't actually. Roses is playing very passively, but they have no way of knowing that, and that may or may not force a little bit too much aggression, a few more mistakes from Rippers. They have Molotov down. Oh, nice headshot from DM King. They Molotov down King Tastic. Now, Ducadian goes down as well. Brown managing to secure that kill. Isaac with the flank will be able to pick up the killer though. And low HP unlucky, but he still manages the flank. He'll be shut down immediately after by the nade. Roses with a nice AWP pick. Make that 2 with the shutdown. 3 in a row. Nade and 2 AWP shots. And Ripper stabilize and claim 14 rounds. 14-6, nearing match point, nearing tournament point for Rippers. But JMD Gaming are not out. Yes, they do have a bit of an awkward buy this round, but they will be going for Tech9's Galils. They don't have enough money though. If they lose this, it's going to be rough. If they lose this, they will probably lose the game, because then they'll be at match tournament point with no money. So all the pressure is on. And they're grouping up over towards the drop zone on the B site. Beginning to pressure things. DM King throwing out a few shots towards long. The UMPs setting up for action. Ooh, X1 catches off. One player is snuck through the lines. That'll be Proud going down early. And JMD Gaming are surely seeing their chances at winning. Lion's share of the 18,000 rupee prize pool just drifting away. Further and further. Lose player after player. Ducadian will throw out a few nades just to scare him off as the aggression comes through. That Molotov will shut down their rush, and X1 can absolutely hear all this running coming through, so he should have the pre-fires. He still gets shut down. Lucky with 2 frags. That's a huge opening. Kingtastic tapping away at range, though. Will be able to get 1-2 frags of his own. Almost 3 as Roses has picked up a third elsewhere. Savage will have a trade frag, but he needs to get 2 to win the round. He needs to get 2 to keep his team in good standing for the match. There's a bomb and 30 seconds to play with now. Going for the plant, he'll get it, but Isaac gets the instant return, and there is tournament point for Rippers. JMD Gaming. Moments away from defeat. It's map 3 of this grand final. We've gone all the way. It's been a great game all the time. But now this is what it all comes down to, and you can see what I was talking about, just broken money over on JMD. If they want to make a push for overtime, they need to do it with UMPs, Mac 10s, maybe a few upgraded pistols even. But they stick it through. Mac 10s, AK, 2 UMPs. Decent amount of nades actually, more than I would have expected. And they're going for B again. I do question that, because it's got to be difficult. But they're already down. They're already into drop room. And Isaac gets shot down without a second chance. There's another one too. DM King with 2 frags on the round. Proud gets another. And it's a complete B take. The shambles buy from JMD Gaming somehow locks them down. A massive player advantage. 3 kills. And a B-side take with a bomb plant. Rippers with this open M4 will be just tempted to save, and it's the right call. You don't want to get them the remaining money they would get for those frags, and you don't want to give them an AWP. But it is worth noting, you get those kills with the SMGs over on JMD, they have plenty of money now. They should have a full buy next time. Lucky and Proud headed over to witness this tower. Might actually still be able to somehow secure this AWP. Lucky checking all the sneaky save spots, but it's going to be standard. The next one will survive. Roses will survive as well with his AWP. Toss it over to Kingtastic. Back to Roses. It's a hot potato. Nobody knows who's going to get it. But we do have now limited money on Rippers, actually. Pretty low money. If they lose this round, JMD Gaming will have guaranteed an eco round or at least one eco, maybe possibly two. Depending on how this plays out, JMD Gaming actually aren't by no means out of the game. They're going straight to B again. No hesitation. And there's the first kill in favor of Ducadian. Cloud will get the trade frag. And there's a focus at long range from Savage. He gets two with a quick snap around. Roses answers back with an AWP shot, but he gets flanked. I'll be Rio Meister grabbing that kill. X1's got no teammates left. He has an M4, and a 1v3 could secure his team the tournament, but it would be a difficult one. The flash through the smoke will guarantee him one frag, questionably. And now a 1v2. This is possible. Will he go for it? Seems likely, as he has another flashbang through this other smoke. Rio Meister and DM King playing very, very passively, as they should. But there's a temptation to just peek, and now that X1 has an AWP, well, that could be fatal. DM King can hear him inching closer. Rio Meister should be providing him cover, but DM King's actually completely safe. X1 decides he's wasted enough time and falls off the site just to look for an exit. So, this is huge. You do save the AWP over on X1, but apart from that, there is no money over on Rippers. None. 2,000 roughly across the board, 3,000 on Roses. So they will be able to force out pistols maybe, but honestly, if I were them, you save this round, you don't buy. And I don't think they're going to do that because the pressure is on. The smart play is to save a round, eat the round, because they have enough of the lead that they just don't want to spiral into how they keep force up, right? And they will be doing that actually, so thank God they're going with the smart play. They have a couple upgraded pistols to try and support the AWP, but it's pretty standard so far. So this should be a free round for JMD, provided nothing insane comes out of Roses and his AWP. Fantastic, actually, the opening shots go through. Ducadian gets one, however, Rio Meister will answer back for two, and there's Savage looking for Isaac. Fantastic drop down to half HP, running through a Molotov. He might be able to use that to catch his opposition off guard, though. And this is a messy round. Proud will be able to one-tap his own opponent, X1 melts. So there you go. Relatively clean round, but that was much messier than it should have been, and Rippers should have a full buy next round. Yeah, 2,500 on most of their players, if not more. That'll grant them a full buy. So, this is where it starts to get rough. JMD Gaming, they got this far. They did well to extend it this long, but if they want overtime, they're going to have to grind, because they cannot lose a round, and they are not yet on double digits. They're going to near them now at their 9th, but it's going to be rough. There's Kingtastic, actually getting kind of encroached upon. He's caught between two. However, Proud leaves him, so Savage probably won't catch him either. Yep, no, they don't find him. So he'll save the M4. Rippers should have a full buy. And they do. Rose is able to pick up his AWP if he'd like. However, X1 actually is not doing too hot. He'll still be able to scrape out an M4 with the aid of his teammates, and there's a full M4 buy for Rippers. Full nades, decent armor. They'll be fine, that's the point. It's a even playing ground, and JMD need to win an even match. Lucky will be flashing already down, and he gets shot down. Roses finds the opening frag. Kingtastic grabs another. 2 frags already in favor of Rippers. There will be one Molotov answering back, so there's one kill to the good. However, Kingtastic grabs another frag inside the drop area. Now it's starting to look terrible, because JMD Gaming need to somehow outfrag 3 players on this site, and a 4th flanking them quickly with the 2 remaining in order to keep their team alive in the tournament and to have a hope of claiming the vast majority of the prize pool. And there's the tap shots at range. X1 drops. Oh no, Savage down to 4 HP. He's got no HP at all, but he still manages to get the frag, sliding around the corner, and there's a minute remaining on the clock, and you have 17 HP on DM King, 2 on Savage, and they're going for it because they have no choice. There's another frag in favor of DM King. Sweet headshots come through. Isaac will be leaning out, and he has taken some chip. He's going to have to play cautiously after that. Kingtastic on 5 HP. Will be sneaking out, staying alive. He gets one. The trade comes through. It's a 1v1 for the tournament. Isaac, he needs to land 2 bullets, maybe on DM King. DM King needs to save the day with a headshot. That's literally the only way he wins this, and he's only got 20 seconds. As soon as this bomb goes down, it turns around, though. Isaac will actually allow him to plant. That's a huge mistake. There's a headshot. DM King. He works it back. Rippers. They're getting back into this game, and I do not know how they did that. I am in absolute awe. And Rippers, they're back on a pistol buy. Their money's been broken now. And it might very well be several rounds in a row now for Rippers as the close spray comes through. Proud with an ugly spray, will be able to get it. But King Tastic with 2! The CZ grabs 2! And that's actually made this round dangerous now because those two players both have AKs now, and you have Isaac on the flank. King Tastic struggling for the boost, but Isaac's able to get it nonetheless. And it's Savage and DM King yet again, that deadly duo. They have the bomb plant this time, and they do have a weapon advantage. Savage gets 2 in a row, and they will be able to stabilize. That's an ugly round. They lost money on it, and though they won it, though they stayed alive, they cannot afford things to be that close, particularly not on eco rounds. Rippers still on match point, but JMD are nearing it. They're beginning to bring this back. You do have the save rounds did come through though for Rippers, so they will be able to buy out full weaponry. Rose is back on his AWP. Isaac picking up his M4. And this is though where nerves start to come out. You start to see the mistakes, the errors, unforced errors, where people just slip up as the pressure mounts. 4 more match points in a row to get to overtime for JMD. And a little bit of frustration from them. Ooh, the pressure comes through. Imagine that. Map 3. You're forcing it back. I mean, this is the esports scenario. This is the dream. And we will have the on-pause coming through in a moment. I'm sorry, I'm giggling a bit at the chat. It's been great so far. And if you would like to take part in any upcoming tournaments, please do feel free to head over to Playtonia.com for our 10,000 rupee 1v1 tournament coming up in a few days. The registration closes on May 28th. Once again, all those details are over at Playtonia.com. This tournament is, of course, presented by Playtonia. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Playtonia, and of course on YouTube at Playtonia Shoutout as our YouTube channel. You can view it live over there on the Facebooks or in full HD over on YouTube, whichever one floats your boat. My name is TJ. I've had a great time casting today alongside quite a few talented volunteers running the broadcasts. Will of the unpause. As the rage in the chat has subsided, and we'll get back into it. Full buy on both sides. Still, match point for Rippers, tournament point for Rippers. And like I said, 4 of them. JMD, to get to overtime, need to do the impossible. They've done a good job of it so far, and it's all been on the B side. And they do seem to be sticking to the pattern. Look at this. 4 people from Rippers head over B. They know it's coming at this point. The question is, can JMD break through it nonetheless? Well, King Tastic's found the first opening. That'll be an ugly first frag. Oh, Roses grabs another. There's the AWP ringing through for 2 frags on the round. 3 frags on the round. Huge plays from behind the statue here. And it's all unlucky now. He's been isolated as the last alive. He needs to win a 1-on-5 to keep his team in the tournament, to keep his team in the running for the lion's share of the 18,000 rupee grand final. He's got an AK, some nades and full HP to do it. He gets the first frag. Nice headshot onto Isaac. But I'm not sure where he goes from there. That will be Rose to confirm the kill. 4 kills in the final round in a very good game. However, it will be Rippers as the champions of the Playtonia Rigid Roulette. Huge shout out to them. They played very well. And the team that came in second did as well in the grand final. And I had a great time casting it. 8,000 rupee for the first place, all in favour of Rippers. And wow, it was a close one. Thank you guys so much for watching, either here on YouTube or over on Facebook. I certainly do hope that you enjoyed the broadcast, and if you would like to find me anywhere, I'm always open to constructive feedback or anything of that sort. You can find me on Twitter if you'd like to, at esportstj. Playtonia, of course, playtonia.com, where you can sign up for, once again, that upcoming tournament, which I'd highly suggest you do. 10,000 rupees for the 1v1 tournament on May 28th. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your evening. And I will see you guys next time.